Oh, Fester, do I have a listener all peeved off at you? Oh, man. I don't know if you got messaged or had any contact, but there is a listener that, well, they're saying they're not listening anymore because of something you did. That's great. I'm trying to attract listeners. We're still fighting an uphill battle, letting everyone know that the MJ Morning Show is back. I mean, 4 years in. Well, actually, October 5th will be 4 years of the MJ Morning Show's return, and still just constantly finding people that had no idea that we're back. People are still discovering us every day. There are still tons of people that don't know we've returned on 104.7 FM. And you're out there chasing folks away. Oh, no. I have a couple that is just fit to be tied. Something you did, Fester. Oh, my God. This is tragic.
Somebody's not going to listen because of little old me?
Yes, because what do you say? How do you say that?
Little old me? little old
what are you doing? Your Adam Sandler baby talk?
Oh, listen. Just because Adam Sandler talked baby talk one time doesn't mean he owns it. Baby talk's been around for a long time.
No. Adam Sandler did his baby talk in more than one movie. Yeah. He did it. Adam Sandler, baby talk, Adam Sandler.
Oh my God!
He did that in numerous movies.
I want to not listen because of you right now. It's okay to talk baby talk. It's nothing to do with Adam Sandler. Did you? Listen,
Roxanne, give me a list of Adam Sandler baby talk movies, would you please?
Please don't.
Oh, anger management. Did he talk baby talk in anger management, or did he just scream and break things?
I mean, I like Adam Sandler, but sometimes the little baby talk, Adam Sandler, baby talk.
I want to know what somebody's upset about.
Oh, you'll find out in due course.
I don't recall anything Fester said yesterday to be upsetting.
Well, who said I said it yesterday?
Well, you weren't paying attention.
I could have said it in 2022.
No. It was yesterday's show.
Okay.
Yeah, it was yesterday's show.
I'm going to have a bucket here next to me, and I'm going to put all of the bleeps that I have in that bucket, and I don't care about complaints.
I'm going to share just a little bit.
I don't get worked up over complaints.
I'll get into this later on.
I love the haters.
I'm going to get into this in more detail later on, but just an instant or a direct message, I should say, from Instagram. So Instagram direct message from Kellyanne Hackett. All right? MJ, what is wrong with Fester? I can no longer listen to your show. All right? It's
a teaser.
Yeah, that's actually, it's an angry listener teaser. You're 100% absolutely right.
All right. I remain unmoved.
The hell does that mean? You remain unmoved.
I do not care or respond or have any anything at all with these haters or these negative. Listen, that's fine. Listen, radios have a dial for a reason.
Oh, great!
They do. Now radios have a dial for a reason.
Tell people to move on.
Move on.
That's
move
great.
on. You bitch, you to complain and move on. You don't like it, move on.
You know what's funny, though? I find that the more people complain, the ones who are the biggest complainers, then they're back again to complain the next day.
Oh, listen.
And they're back again to complain the next day. They're still listening.
I've been in this business a long time, and the folks that typically say, I'm never listening to your show again, those folks typically are the first ones to turn the thing on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. The ones that say, I am never listening again. I've turned you off. I'm finding something else to listen to. They religiously listen. And a lot of times they're listening to see if you're saying anything about their complaint if they're not listening. And yeah, that's what they tune in for.
Ding, ding, Kellyanne.
Listen, don't piss off Kellyanne Hackett anymore, okay? Calm down. I think Kellyanne Hackett has a very valid complaint.
Okay. Listen, I'm open to hearing her
complaint. You were discourteous. You were rude. You were, you know what? Like Alec Baldwin said, hey, Andrew, do me a favor. Can you find the Alec Baldwin voicemail to his daughter like in 2012 or 2011? You're a thoughtless little pig. Yeah, Andrew, let me know when you have the voicemail and just give me a thumbs up, and then I'll have you play it from the producer's booth. Oh, incidentally, our big accurate digital clock is out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's
a bummer.
That's what I use to keep everything on time here. The big giant digital clock, and that thing's all busted.
How about we get a mirror and put the mirror there, and then you can see the clock behind you without turning your head?
We had more technical, well, because that clock is not accurate.
Well, no wonder
yeah.
I never am on time.
No,
when
no,
I
no.
Keep talking when you're like
that clock. It's accurate enough, but the one in front of me is actually tied to the like atomic clock signal, so it's like precise time. All right, you have it. All right, Andrew, roll Alec Baldwin. Alec could be talking about Fester. Roll it. Hit it.
Hey, I want to tell you something, okay? And I want to leave a message for you right now, because again, it's 10:30 here in New York on a Wednesday, and once again, I made an ass of myself trying to get to a phone to call you at a specific time. When the time comes for me to make the phone call, I stop whatever I'm doing, and I go and I make that phone call at 11 o'clock in the morning in New York, and if you don't pick up the phone, at 10 o'clock at night, and you don't even have that damn phone turned on. I want you to know something, okay? I'm tired of playing this game with you. I'm leaving this message with you to tell you, you have insulted me for the last time. You have insulted me. You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a damn that you're 12 years old or 11 years old, or that you're a child, or that your mother is a thoughtless pain in the ass who doesn't care about what you do as far as I'm concerned. You have humiliated me for the last time with this phone. And when I come out there next week, I'm going to fly out there for the day just to straighten you out on this issue. I'm going to let you know just how disappointed in you I am and how angry I am with you that you've done this to me again.
Yep.
You've made me feel like and you've made me feel like a fool over and over and over again. And this crap you pull on me with this damn phone situation that you would never dream of doing to your mother, and you do it to me constantly and over again. I am going to get on a plane, and I'm going to come out there for the day, and I'm going to straighten your ass out when I see you. Do you understand me? I'm going to really make sure you get it. Then I'm going to get on a plane, I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to come home. So you better be ready Friday, the 20th, to meet with me. So I'm going to let you know just how I feel about what a rude little pig you really are. You are a rude, thoughtless little pig, okay?
That's right.
RTLP, rude, thoughtless little pig.
You remember the deal on that? Alec left that message for his daughter, and then Kim Basinger, Alec's ex, released that to the media. And man,
Listen,
Alec could be talking about you, Fester. You're a rude, thoughtless little pig. You know, he's going to fly out from L.A. for the day to set your ass straight.
I agree with Alec. He's right.
For you messing up Kellyanne Hackett's life, a valued MJ Morning Show listener.
Yeah.
Fester, you did something so rude and thoughtless that we're going to address later on. Probably 7 o'clock hour here on the MJ Morning Show.
Bated breath.
Just getting rolling up on 6:09 at the MJ Morning Show. Don't forget at 8 o'clock-ish, so a little after 8 o'clock, your chance to play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher, your chance to call in, play the game, win up to $1,000, nothing less than $500. It's all on the way on the MJ Morning Show. First, though, traffic's on. MJ Morning Show back in minutes. A busy Tuesday morning. Fester and Roxanne, Andrew in the producer's booth, 621. The money rolls after 8 o'clock. It is the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. Simple. You listen, we tell you what number caller to be, you call up, and then you get to play the game if you're the right caller, and you get to smash the glass as we try to help you out with the high prices and the inflation, and you get a chance to win up to $1,000. So $1,000 is the top prize. There's nothing less than $500, and it happens in about an hour and a half. Little after 8 o'clock, the inflation smasher is back. So yesterday,
clearing your throat in the mic is a really big issue around here.
I know.
I really wish you'd give it less attention.
I just did it once.
Your once is equal to the 100 times that I do it.
But I made it comical.
No, yes. Look at Roxanne just laughing it up.
I'm guffawing. I'm chortling. I'm everything.
That was
so funny.
That was I did a comical clear.
Yes, it was hysterical.
You've developed a tick where you're just constantly clearing your throat, and I think it's under the radar for you. I'm not. It's sort of involuntary. You don't even realize that you clear your throat. It's like all morning long into the microphone. I had a little bit of a froggy going on, and I decided to comically clear. Yes, you see the difference in
your comedic barometer is on point today, sir. On point.
I just am excited that we have a new way to clear our throat, the comic clearing
next time,
of the throat.
You'll be doing early morons in the news, and I'll be like, I feel much better.
I got to share this.
Please.
I got an email from somebody. I had a handful of emails, mostly direct messages on my Instagram regarding some content on yesterday's show. Listen to this. Trisha writes in. This is an email to mj@mjmorningshow.com. Folks, there are multiple ways to get a hold of me. First, you can call me on my cell, if you have it, or text me. My cell is not a big secret in town. I've had the same cell number since 1996 when I had a Motorola flip phone and I was on Alltel. Remember, Alltel was absorbed by Verizon Wireless, right? So you can get a hold of me if you know my cell number. Text me, call me. But listen, most people reach out via email or Instagram direct message. To email me, I'm mj@mjmorningshow.com. Very simple. mj@mjmorningshow.com. Or you can send me a direct message on Instagram. I'm certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Give me a follow if you don't. Get an email from Trisha yesterday. I'm going to share the email. It's a very quick little paragraph. I never listened to this show.
Oh, never.
So Trisha writes, I never listened to this show. I listen to Christian radio typically, but somehow I ended up on the show, and I want to thank you for giving me a smile. It was so funny the way you added Stevie Wonder's voice to that man that was shot on the ground. I couldn't help but laugh. Thank you for the smile this morning. All right, first of all, I got to give credit. That was Andrew, our producer. I sent him the email the night before. Hey, you got to pull the audio. I need this guy. He's belting out Stevie Wonder. He's belting out Tina Turner. He was just involved in this tragic incident, this maniac with his parents. He's coming at the cops. The cops are ordering him to stop. The cops open fire on him. He drops to the ground, and he's singing 1980s hits as he's on the ground bleeding. It appears to be non-lethal wounds. It means the cop was a really bad shot over in Orange County out in California. But I just love this. I never listened to your show. I listen to Christian radio typically. Somehow I ended up on the show. Let me tell you right now, that's Jesus intervention right now.
Did the Christian radio station not cover the guy getting shot?
I guess not.
If he would have sang hymns, the Christian radio station probably would have talked
Let me
about.
tell you right now. This is where you find your morning joy. This is it's M joy. All right. It's so when you see all those Christian Jesus joy billboards all over town, where man they've got money coming out the wazoo. I can't even get like a Facebook ad, and the billboards for the other, they're all over town. All right, so whenever you see those billboards, just pretend they say M Joy and not just Joy. M Joy and Q105, 104.7 FM. So this was clearly some kind of divine intervention that she usually listens to Christian radio, but then she listens to us and she finds it hysterical. We put a smile on your face. Well, listen. Clearly, you need to start listening to us every single morning. We're your new morning show. We're your new joy. It's the MJ Morning Show on Q105.
More joy.
All right, so she's
Yeah.
talking about the guy that did a heinous act,
All right, so
but then he gets shot by police.
So if you missed this, well, it happened down or over in Orange County. This is in Southern California. You know, remember, wasn't there a TV show, The OC?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember the OC is Orange County. The OC, which is just south of Los Angeles County, L.A., Hollywood, etc. And listen, I don't need to go into the grisly details because there's not really any comedy there. But this crazed maniac disposes of his parents. I mean, like decapitation. I mean, really,
Yeah.
I mean, sicko stuff. And then the cops are after this guy. The cops are ordering him to get on the ground. He's coming toward the cops. And the Orange County Sheriff's Department deputy opens fire on the guy. Non-lethal. Clearly, the guy needs to go back to the range and do some practice. You don't shoot to hit somebody in the lower stomach or in the leg, and that's what happened here.
Be glad I'm not a cop.
So the
I'd
guy's
be shooting people in the junk.
the guy's going to survive. This is in San Juan Capistrano, Orange County, and while the perp is on the ground, the suspect Joseph Girdville is on the ground after getting shot, and he starts belting out Tina Turner. All right, so listen to this. Here's the original audio. This is the perp. First, here's Tina Turner.
We got one.
And this is the body cam. This is the body cam that all the cops wear these days. Listen.
We got one. We got another one by the groin.
So that's Tina Turner on the ground, just shot multiple times, and he's got Tina Turner going on.
We got one. We got another one by the groin.
The cops are heard discussing where he was hit. All right, so after Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? Then he goes into a little Stevie Wonder.
I just called to say I love you. See the scissors?
Oh my gosh. Okay, you know how they sometimes say that certain types of music makes people do heinous things?
Yeah.
I hope no one spins this into Tina Turner music makes people do bad things, because it's really,
Makes me do bad
It's
things.
really a good song.
He sang Tina Turner after.
well, I mean,
It was on his mind,
it's obviously on his
obviously.
mind. It's obviously, he knew the words.
I just called to say I love you. See the scissors?
Here we go, Stevie. Right. And then, of course, I wonder if he takes requests. I wonder if I could call him up on his cell phone and say, hey, I'd like to request Tainted Love by Soft Cell. Ba-doop, boop. You know, I'd like to request Huey Lewis and the News, Heart of Rock and Roll.
That's the prison interview I want to have.
I'd like to request Pat Benatar, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. So, Andrew, or the Warrior, bang, bang, I am the Warrior, bang, bang. All right, so Andrew, our producer, he took the perp on the ground, singing.
I just called to say I love you.
And did a little overlay mashup.
I just called to say I love you.
All right. It's not often we turn a double decapitation
No.
parental murder story into,
Trish, the woman who emails you, what a lovely lady. I mean, she took the best part of that savage story and, got a chuckle out of it.
Got a real laugh.
and somehow she ended up on our station yesterday morning.
Man.
I never listened to this show. I listen to Christian radio typically, but somehow I ended up on your show. I want to thank you for giving me a smile. The way you added Stevie Wonder's voice to that man that was shot on the ground. It's very Christian content.
Yeah.
Man, you never know. All right, hey, hopefully Trisha will become a more frequent listener to the M-Joy radio show. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. Let's grab traffic. 6:40 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and the gang here, and some early morons in the news. You know, the T-Mobile commercial came on. I was streaming something last night with commercials, and the T-Mobile, you know the guys from Scrubs that do the T-Mobile commercial, and now they're singing a T-Mobile custom parody to Holiday Road by Lindsey Buckingham. And Chloe was in the room because I was in the living room, which is adjacent to the kitchen, and she was steaming some dumplings in the bamboo steamer, and she's like, "Oh, I love that song." So listen, it's great to hear my 23-year-old daughter talk about a song from the early 1980s, Holiday Road, which was used in the vacation movies. It's great to hear Chloe say, "I love that," and she's singing along to the damn song.
Yeah. Good job on those two actors having one mediocre show and cultivating a career of phone commercials.
Yeah. Who was it, Andrew? What are the actors? I know Zach Braff is one of them.
Zach Braff and Donald Faison was the other one.
Zach Braff and Donald Faison from the TV show Scrubs. And listen, that was on for a while. That was on for
9
seven. Oh, I was going to say 7, 8 seasons. So 9 seasons of Scrubs. It was actually a pretty funny show. I wasn't a regular viewer, but when I saw episodes, I did laugh. I thought it was humorous. All right, so early morons in the news. Man, and this is a Florida story, of course. A pet groomer here in Florida arrested for kicking a small dog multiple times. The video's gone viral. It's been out for a couple of days now. Happened down in South Florida. Miami-Dade police have arrested Rochelle Umar Gonzalez, charged him with a count of cruelty to animals. And he was seen kicking a small white dog named Coco. In the video, the dog tries to run away down a hallway, and the man kicks the pup hard to stop the dog. Listen, the dog is okay. I mean, the dog obviously at the time was, stunned by the kick. But maybe if you're kicking small animals, maybe you're in the wrong business. Maybe you shouldn't be a dog groomer. These stories drive me nuts. There have been multiple stories in the past, like where dog groomers that might have a dog on the grooming table and maybe in don't they use like a harness sometimes or a little like a collar to hold the dog on the table?
Yeah, they have like a little pole with a short leash or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there have been stories over the years where the groomers will just start getting really nasty and violent with these dogs that are not cooperating. Dogs might be a little skittish. You have some dogs that you can pull their fur, you can do whatever you want. They'll stand there, they'll take it. Their temperament is fantastic. Then you have other dogs that are going to have a problem with being restrained and something weird is happening. Someone's got these shears. They're coming at me. And if you can't deal with a dog that is not going to be 100% cooperative and you're a groomer, then you're in the wrong freaking business. Why don't you go get a job in a dark closet where you have no interaction with any humans or animals? How about that?
So after all of this animal abuse, eventually the dog got free, right?
Yeah. So listen,
who let it free?
The dog.
Who let the dog? Who let the dog out? That's what I want to know.
Who let it go?
Who let the?
Who let the dogs out?
That's all. That's the hero of the story. Who let the dog out?
Yeah. Anyway, the pup is going to be okay. The dog runs down a hall. The man following. Then the dog turns around. The suspect kicks the dog.
Awful, but I mean, still terrible reporting because we don't know.
Who let the dog out?
Who let the dogs out?
Thank you.
I'm just kidding. Not terrible reporting.
Anyway, this dude has been arrested and charged with one count of animal abuse, and this guy does not belong in the dog grooming business.
No.
But I'll tell you who does belong in the Dog Kindness Hall of Fame.
Who the former Michael Vick?
No.
Oh,
the person who let the dog out.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Back. Hey, I didn't get to this item. This is a really local story. This is Hillsborough County, and I didn't get to this item. And I had multiple. Trust me, I saw this. I had multiple people send it to me, and listen. We get jammed up. I don't always get to it. It's a couple of days old.
What happened?
It's a Hillsborough County deputy. Well, no more. Who's been arrested after he allegedly recorded victims in the bathroom of his house. Yeah, Justin DiBiase, 26 years old. Son, that's no way to start off your Hillsborough County deputy sheriff's career.
No.
By videoing people in your bathroom at your house. Yeah, so this guy was hired back in 2021. So on the job for 3 years or so? And he was being investigated by the Tampa Police Department because there was a tip. Back in May, a tip came in, and he reportedly had placed a video recording device in the bathroom, and it was aimed toward the shower area and the toilet. Now, the voyeuristic video was shot some time ago. It was shot back in June of 2021, and Tampa PD detectives said that there were explicit videos of 2 victims. And then last Thursday, the former deputy, no longer employed with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, turned himself in, drove himself or had someone to drop him off at the Orient Road Jail.
I don't think you can drive yourself because you can't park there that long.
So maybe he took an Uber. Maybe he took a Lyft or an Uber to the Orient Road Jail.
So, MJ.
And he turned it because there was a warrant out for his arrest, and he voluntarily turned himself in.
You know, the county sheriff's office also offers a free pickup program.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to spend money on an Uber and then worry about the tip and everything.
Just call them.
You could just call 911 and say, this is true.
It is.
You could just call 911 and say, hi, I have a warrant for my arrest. can I get a ride?
They will,
It's a great service.
They will gladly come to your place and pick you up on an outstanding warrant.
I know this firsthand. When I had an old roommate who was on probation
right?
perpetually.
Yes.
He was, nice guy, but he just got into a couple of problems.
Sounds like it.
And he never got out of the probation cycle. And he violated his probation.
What did he do to get on probation in the first place?
I think he was
He was your roommate. What do you mean you think?
no,
You don't know?
Here's what happened. He had a motorcycle.
Yep.
And a couple of cops that he would pass would often stop him. And he was probably going a little too fast, but he got stopped several times by these law enforcement officers.
Cops that knew him, or they
On his,
just in general random cops?
the same, like 2 cops
That's
pulled
what
him over like
that-
6
yeah,
times.
That's what I'm saying. So the cops that knew of him,
Yeah.
that he was like a menace.
And then
All right.
he eventually ran,
Oh,
and it
man.
did not end well.
It's not going to end well. Yeah.
So he has had to serve a little time for that, and then
Right.
he gets out, and then we become roommates.
Fleeing and eluding. That's
Yeah.
that's felonious.
Yeah,
That's a big
it's
one.
not like he chopped somebody's head off.
Yeah.
He ran from some cops.
Yep.
Anyway, he violated his probation, and the cop came to the house.
And this is in like Pinellas Park or
Well,
something?
when I lived in Seminole near the beach.
Okay,
and,
gotcha.
Cops come to the house, so I'm fresh off my morning show gig, home at 11:30 in the morning, and I'm like, "Hey, officer, what seems to be the problem?" And they're like, "Hey, we're looking for Jim," and I was like, "He's not here right now." It's like, "Tell him we're looking for him."
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks. So I call him. Hey, Jim, the cops just came.
Wait a sec.
He was at work.
Oh, he was at
No,
work.
he wasn't-
I,
he
just
wasn't-
wanna-
yeah.
I don't want.
I told the cops.
I want to make sure that you weren't like
He wasn't
no.
aiding and abetting
No, I
and
wasn't
hiding in the
hiding-
backyard.
hiding a suspect in a
Yeah.
closet.
I told the cop, he's at work right now.
We're going to send in the dogs. You're going to get bitten.
And the cop
we're
was
sending it. If you come out, we're sending in the dogs.
And the cop had no number. He's like, all right, tell him we're looking for him.
Right.
Tell him to give us a call. And I said, Jim, the cops just came to the door. He's like, yeah, I know what they want.
So did Jim turn himself in?
He comes home that day,
Right.
makes himself a little sandwich, and he goes, I got to go to the jail now. It was like, because I knew there was a
Did he
warrant.
call?
And I said, I was like, do you need me to give you a ride?
To the
And
jail.
he chuckles and he says, nope, they have a free pickup program. And he called him, and we sat down. He finished his sandwich, wipes his mouth, cop
All right.
rolls in the driveway.
So he
arrests
called
him.
911?
He called. I don't know if he called the non-emergency line
Right.
or what, but he called them.
And how quickly did the cops show up after he called and said he had an outstanding warrant?
It wasn't as quickly as a 911
Right.
emergency
Right.
call, but they were there in pretty short order.
Yeah.
Enough time to finish the sandwich.
All right, this is a total breach of trust. And listen, this is an anomaly. I mean, most law enforcement officers uphold the law. They are law-abiding citizens themselves. Chad Chronister, the sheriff of Hillsborough County, said, I'm disgusted and deeply disappointed by the actions of this individual. This is not only a violation of trust toward the victims, but also a profound betrayal of the badge. Deputies are sworn to protect and serve our community, but behind closed doors, he was a criminal himself. We hold our deputies to the highest standards, and when one falls so far from those standards, it is our duty to ensure they face the full weight of their consequences. Anyway, this former Hillsborough County Deputy Sheriff DiBiase was taken into custody and charged with 3 counts of video voyeurism. And this goes back years. I mean, this was 2021 that he set up a camera in the bathroom and got at least 2 victims on video, and here he was arrested in 2024.
He did this before he became an employee of the
Yeah.
sheriff's department. He changes his ways and says, you know what? I'm not going to be a voyeur anymore.
Well,
I'm going to be on the good side of the
I'm
law.
going to go on the other side of the badge.
You don't know that. You don't know if he totally changed his ways.
What happened is he probably shared the video and somebody had dirt on him, and then that person got pinched.
Listen.
And then they're like, hey, you want some dirt on a Leo? I know some dirt, and you give it up.
In any walk of life, you're going to have bad apples. And, in law enforcement, most serve and protect and do a great job keeping our community safe. But in any walk of life, in any occupation, you're going to have some bad apples.
Just
even
like radio personalities.
Even,
Look
listen,
at us.
Fester's a real bad apple
Yeah.
on the radio. It's amazing he survived this long.
Amazing.
Yes. All right, 6:51 at the MJ Morning Show. A little dose of early morons in the news. When we get back, 7 o'clock hour begins, of course, at 7:25-ish. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ, so stand by for that. When we return in minutes, I'm just curious about something. When you sign a lease, when you rent an apartment, Is this standard operating procedure? Something really kind of creepy happened regarding an apartment rental, and I'm just curious what the story is. All right, so we'll get into that when we get back in a couple of minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. So if you know about renting apartments, and maybe you've recently signed a lease, maybe you can tell me if this is in your lease. This is a nutty story, and it's on the way in minutes. Hey, I saw... It is 7 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. We're an hour away from the inflation smasher, so sometime after 8 o'clock, we'll tell you when to call in. It is your shot to win up to $1,000 in cash. It's never less than $1,000. Could be anywhere between 500. I'm sorry. What did I say? Did I say it's never less than 1,000? Correction. All right. It is never less than 500. So I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
Right,
it's 1,000 or it's between 500 and 1,000.
Right. So it could be up to 1,000. It's never less than 500 with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher, and we'll play the game. It's very simple. No skills required. Well, you got to be able to dial 800-990-1047. That's it. Yeah, and hopefully be the right number caller. I'll randomly come up with a caller number. We'll give you the phone number again later on. You dial up. And if you're the right caller, you get to play the game, and you're guaranteed cash. If you get through and you're the right caller, you win money.
I mean, there's several skills required now that you think about it. Dial a phone, pick up a phone, be able to audibly relay information on this phone.
So a little over an hour away, just after 8 o'clock, the inflation smasher's back, and your chance to win the loot. Up to 1,000, never less than $500. Hey, did anyone recently order from Amazon? Fester, you, your wife, any Amazon deliveries to the house recently?
I think we get an Amazon delivery, if not every day, every other day.
Yeah. And Roxanne, what about you? What about the Amazon deliveries to your house?
Yeah, same. I mean, we get stuff. I just got some books. I just got some finger paint. I got some probiotics. All within the last 2 days.
Why didn't you go to Michael's to get some finger paint?
Because it was one of those items on the list of all the school supplies that we have to get for the kids.
Right. So why didn't you go to a brick and mortar? Why did you go
Because
to,
I'm a working mom and I don't have time to run out to Michael's at whatever time. So I'm like, I got to get this done now. Boom, boom.
What
It's
about
going to be here tomorrow.
What about Blick? I love that. You ever go to Blick?
No.
Yeah, Blick Art Supply.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
more professional stuff,
Is
right?
it? Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, there's one on West Shore.
yeah.
On the way to the International Plaza Mall. There's a Blick.
Dude, my wife is an Amazon shopper and then a returner. And she makes, my wife
Hey,
apologized.
If you return too much, they'll like
Flag you.
they'll throttle you a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know how we haven't been called by Jeff Bezos personally.
Well, it's funny you bring up Jeff Bezos because there's a reason why. Listen, there's always a rhyme and reason. Were you at all curious why I was asking? Hey, have you ordered from Amazon recently? Has Amazon showed up at your house like every day, like Fester's place?
What is Jeff delivering packages himself like a surprise?
No. I was just going to point out that if you're a regular Amazon utilizer, well, you just helped Jeff Bezos buy his 4th private jet. He just picked up a brand new $80 million Gulfstream G700.
Good for him.
They need to update that song. What was that? Remember
G6?
Fly like a G6, G6. Hey, Andrew, can you bring that up quickly? That was when we were back on the other station. Wasn't that, what year was G6? Who the hell did that song? Remember that song? Fly like a G6, G6, fly like a... And they're talking about a Gulfstream G600, and
Is it Like a Go by Far East Movement?
Yeah. Far East Movement was the name of the. Andrew, bring up the song. Bring up "Fly Like a G." Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Song doesn't hit the same when MJ sings it.
No, it doesn't.
That song was really hot back
Yeah.
when I was really in my scissor days.
Taking scissor up in the clubs.
So you drop enough Skittles in it, it'll taste great.
I'm drinking scissor, fly like a G6. They ought to come up with a new version, the G7. Yeah, the G. And also, I saw that Jeff Bezos is kind of behind the times here because they're already testing, and I think it's going to be available at the end of the year. The G800 is going to be better than the G700. So they're Jeff Bezos. Listen, bottom line is, if you use Amazon regularly or really ever at all, you've just helped Jeff Bezos get his brand new 4th private jet, a brand new G700 luxury business jet manufactured by Gulfstream Aerospace up in Georgia.
Good for him.
At the money, you do whatever the hell you want with the money.
And you never bring up the amount of people who are affected by that purchase. I mean, all the people who build the planes, Gulfstream, the engineers.
Well, listen, there are a lot of people, highly skilled, workers up in Georgia that build these Gulfstreams. I'm just saying that, hey, Jeff Bezos and his brand new $80 million, 4 private jets.
Buy 2 more, Jeff.
What's the girlfriend's name? Are they engaged now? Are they married? What's the story? Lauren Sanchez.
That's right.
Yeah, Lauren Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez. Hey, Lauren, which jet do you want to take today to go shopping in New York? Which?
Like anyone you
Nice to have a choice. Yep, always nice.
Right.
Hey, you said something a moment ago, MJ, about why I didn't buy my paint at a Michael's craft store.
Or, wait a second, or Blick.
Or Blick.
I love the name.
Blick.
Blick. Yes.
I want to ask Fester this.
Yes.
My gosh, the supply list, the things that I had to get my VPKer, it was like I was on a scavenger hunt. So
What's a VPKer?
My child who's not in kindergarten yet.
Pre-kindergarten.
Pre-kindergarten.
Hold on. You said VP.
Yeah, VPK
that's what
is
it's
the
called.
class before kindergarten.
Well, what does the V stand for?
Very pre-K.
Again, what is VP? What does it mean?
I should know.
Yeah, VPK is a class before kindergarten.
Yeah, all you need to know is it happens before you go to
It's a
voluntary
Wait a
pre-kindergarten.
minute, you're using acronyms and you don't even know what they mean?
Yeah,
the school
who
board
doesn't?
has
You
VPK.
don't need to know.
It's not something you have to go to like 3rd grade.
It's called
You have to go-
voluntary pre-kindergarten.
Okay.
VPK. You don't need to know what V stands for. It's voluntary.
But the list of supplies you need are incredible.
It's insane. So I get this huge list. I go to Dollar Tree. I buy probably 80% of it. I was there for what felt like 2 hours.
Hold
like
on.
you're on a
Dollar Tree has
Their
Yeah.
school
The
supply.
That's the thing. If you
Okay.
want to be, you're asking me why I waste money on Amazon. Well, let me tell you,
Well,
I did a big chunk of it.
I didn't know
trying
that.
to
So
be economical.
Dollar Tree has a kids art supply section. I didn't know that.
It's been a while since you've been a whole school supply row.
Can I get scissor at Dollar Tree?
I mean, you have to mix a couple of things together.
yeah,
but
yeah, you have to buy 2 items, put them together,
You
so
buy
you
the
spend
syrup, buy the
$2.
Skittles,
So
buy a cup.
How
I
much
mean,
did you spend on your kids' pre-K art supplies?
Well, I remember being at Dollar Tree, and that was a nice surprise. I got to the checkout counter, and it's less than what you think it's going to be. So I'm turning into Fester has converted me. Dollar Tree is where it's at, right? So I did 80% of the shopping there. I don't know how much it was, but in total,
By any chance, was it as much as an auction bid for a Matisse at a Christie's art auction?
close to it.
Okay,
Close
all right.
to it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like VPK is free, but wow, you make up for it on the school supply.
why would you buy a Maltese at an art auction?
I said a Matisse.
Matisse,
A
it's a
Maltese
piece
is
of
a little dog.
No,
right?
it's
That's ridiculous. Why would you buy a dog at an
a
art
stuffed,
auction?
a stuffed.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
All right, listen to this. I have not leased an apartment in a while. You know, what?
Okay.
What?
I have not leased an apartment. That's funny. Okay, it's true. You haven't. I think the last time you rented was when you first moved to Tampa.
Exactly.
Right, in 1990 something.
The last time I rented was 1994, and Michelle and I rented an apartment at 4807 Bayshore Boulevard. It's the condos right behind the Bigelow Mansion, right at the corner of Gandy and Bayshore in South Tampa. And that's the last time I signed a lease, when I rented an apartment.
You think the guy who rented it after you used the fact that you lived there like his closing lines for ladies? Like, hey, you know, that guy in the radio used to live in this apartment.
Hey, let me finish the
All
story. Let me finish the story.
Go ahead.
So that's the last time I rented. I can't remember if this was in the lease but listen to this. This is not Florida. This is Texas. And maybe someone can answer the question for me. This elderly woman lived in an apartment rental community, passed away, and her survivors, her kids, get a bill for $15,676 for unpaid rent for the duration of her lease. So the woman, I thought that if you die, I mean, doesn't that void the lease? But and also in Texas, I guess you're protected. A local apartment complex says that, hey, if you die, you still got to pay up. It sent a bill to the family of one of its former tenants, charging her for breaking her lease. You broke your lease because you died. That'll certainly break a lease, won't it? The woman's children got a bill from the apartment complex for $15,676 and a collections notice, despite a Texas law saying that a family member can cancel a lease if the loved one passes away. 91-year-old Sandra Bonilla. Oh, Sandra. Listen,
La Sandra Bonilla. Yeah, La Isla.
Madonna,
Yeah.
yeah. La Isla Bonita. It's La Sandra Bonilla.
Oh.
Yes.
So anyway, what the hell is she doing signing a long-term lease? I mean, she doesn't even buy a gallon of milk. She's so old, okay?
So what's the deal in Florida? If you pass away, does anyone know? Anyone listening? What's the story? Anyone have any experience? I'm just curious. So if you pass away or if you have an elderly relative in an apartment complex and you got a lease, I mean, are you obligated? What does Florida law say? Does anyone know? Anyone have an experience with this? I'm curious. I'll ask for some calls here. I'll see if anyone knows. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Anybody with a story?
So I think I know the answer to this.
Oh, well, you can go ahead with your answer. And I'd also love to hear from listeners if you've had any experience with this. You would think that there would be a little compassion that if an elderly relative or if somebody passes away, that they're going to come at you for the lease?
Yeah, no, I don't. We've had that happen. And
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let me give out the number one more time,
Okay.
and then we'll hear Roxanne's story. 800-990-1047. If anyone knows, 800-990-1047, what the deal is here in Florida, and then have you had any experience in this realm? All right, so what happened to you?
We had a tenant pass away, and that was the end of the lease.
Yeah, but was it
Yeah.
written that way in the contract? Like, for
I
example-
just texted Doug and asked him, but he wasn't going to go after the family for any sort of money.
All right, but were you due? So you guys, you and Doug, you and
Mhm.
Doug, you guys have rental homes.
Yep.
And this was this a rental house?
It was a house. A house
And-
on Davis. Yes, on Davis
And
Islands.
the person passed away?
Mhm, mhm. No, not on Davis Islands. I'm sorry, a different house.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
so
yes.
what were the circumstances of the person passing away?
Yeah. You know,
Did they off themselves because they couldn't stand their landlord?
no. I think
can't
it was
take
just
this Doug guy anymore.
Was it
a
an
heart
old,
issue.
was
Heart
it,
issue.
Was it an old tenant or a young tenant?
Yeah, I mean, define old. Not like 80, but
Was he 60? Was he
yeah,
50?
somewhere in there, 60 to 70. There you go.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember the exact age, but
Did
it
they-
was 60 to 70.
Did they pass away in the house?
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, so it's haunted now?
No, it's not haunted.
Did you have to tell the
Mister,
next
I don't
renter?
believe
Yeah.
in ghosts.
Did you tell the next renter that the previous tenant died right in your bedroom?
Well, of course, that's what we did. We put that on that was the draw of the lease after
Oh,
that. It's
yeah.
an
Have you
Airbnb.
ever-
It's like
you ever
come stay in our
dreamed-
Airbnb.
You ever dreamed on living in a haunted house where the previous tenant died? Oh, wow. All right, so you let the family out of the lease?
Of course.
You
You
guys,
would never.
you guys weren't bastard landlords?
I think it's discretion of the
How it's written.
renter.
Yeah, hang on. Let me go to phones. Phones have lit up here. Andy in St. Pete. Andy, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? I was just wondering if the family was on the lease.
Oh boy, hold on a sec. Your phone is awful.
It could be our line.
Yeah, it could be because this place is a technical nightmare.
Better?
No, it's not. Could be our phone. Hold on one sec. Let me pick up the other line and see if it's busted too. Good morning. Who's this? Tony, are you there?
Yes, sir. How are you?
It's
oh,
our phone
my
system.
God. Oh,
All
what
right.
the hell else could go wrong in this
So
place?
both of the callers on their end are going to sound fine, but our system is making them sound like crap.
Oh,
Tony, how can you help us? What do you know?
Tony, what do you know?
All right, so I have a rental property in
Oh,
jeez.
Northeast St. Pete. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
you know, we can't take freaking phone calls here now.
All right, Tony, I'm sorry. We can't air this.
Is it just this one bad line?
No, they went to Tony and they went to the
yeah,
other guy.
These are two different lines.
All right, thanks, Tony. Thanks for nothing.
If we spoke dolphin,
So,
we could understand Tony.
Fester, go call in quickly.
Sounds like he's underwater.
Fester, go call us on your cell phone. Let me get Fester on the phone.
Oh, I hear
Yeah,
you.
we had more technical problems yesterday. This place is just this is like a Fukushima nuclear meltdown as far as seriously
So,
as far
MJ?
as the tech here.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said we had more tech problems yesterday. What are these phone problems that just came about?
I don't know. Obviously, our phone system now is all distorted and all crapped up. All right, Fester's calling in. Fester, is that you? Fester.
Must be him. Oh, there are two
Fester.
Oh,
Fester.
hello.
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 calls.
Yeah,
Yep.
Fester, say something. Recite something.
Hey, I'm talking right now.
Oh my God! All right, Andrew,
Not good.
can you please call the engineers?
Can you hear me right now?
Oh, it's
jeez.
terrible. It's terrible.
All right, that's all I need. Now, yeah, I hung up on you. Come on
Yeah.
back in. So now our phone system's all screwed up.
I sent you like 3 segments that were predicated on calls.
All right, 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, let me take a quick break. We start an hour. Listen, we obviously can operate without taking phone calls.
How are we going
but
to do Inflation Smasher?
I've got the contest
Oh,
coming up,
man.
and oh God.
Is this just going to be one of those things, Andrew? I don't know. He's on the phone right now, but is it just going to be like a reboot, the phone lines or something?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Andrew, do you know how to reboot the phone system, or can you get the engineers on the phone?
I can start unplugging crap if you want.
I have never worked in a radio facility with just this many technical and equipment. All right, 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. An hour and 20 minutes. No commercials, no music. It's nonstop MJ next. So stand by for that. Hey, if your carpets need to be cleaned, 7:27 at the MJ Morning Show. Here it is, the start, as we do every morning, 1 hour and 20 minutes at least of nonstop MJ. You never get less than an hour and 20 minutes. You never get exactly an hour and 20. You always get more. You know what? You underpromise, overdeliver. That is the motto here at the MJ Morning Show. All right, Roxanne, you were trying to tell me something. Doug said, we're just kind of preoccupied because the phone system is now all screwed up. I had multiple things I wanted to take phone calls on, including we have a contest to do after 8 o'clock. And our phones are, you can call in. It's just the audio is all distorted. So we'll probably have a totally distorted MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher coming up a little after 8 o'clock. Oh, man,
that's great.
This place is a technical dumpster fire. Anyway.
You smash inflation, we'll smash our phone lines.
Yeah.
Do it together.
So what were you saying?
Doug texted me the landlord can sue the estate for any unpaid rents to date. But people don't. I mean, here's the thing. We wouldn't do that. Personally, Doug and I wouldn't do that.
But these big companies that own these, 20,000 doors around the state, they don't care.
Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, the last segment just had a story. It just seemed kind of heartless that this 91-year-old woman living in an apartment complex passed away, and then the apartment complex sued the family for like $15,000 in unpaid rent. You know what? If somebody passes away, come on. That's the cost of doing business. It doesn't happen that often. Just let it slide. You know, the family has enough grief to deal with.
You kidding me? Then you're opening yourself up to age discrimination. I don't want to rent some geezer if I can't collect rent after they kick the bucket.
What? I never said don't rent to older people.
You're opening yourself up. Listen,
hold on.
The rule is there to protect the landlord.
I get it.
Right. But you're not a landlord. You shouldn't be speaking on this.
You're just rambling over here.
No, it's there
what
to
are you
protect the
saying?
landlord. Listen, you die.
I get
you
it.
die on their dime.
No, but what you said prior just didn't make sense to me.
If you said, it's the price of doing business, then I'm not renting to old people. Then you're going to sue me for age discrimination.
Okay, you didn't make that clear. Now I got it.
All right.
Well, that whole thing sounds like a mess because did you say, MJ, I missed this part. If you said, was that months in arrears? Like, did she not pay for X amount of months or was that one cycle or how many cycles?
I think what it was, the $15,000 was going forward. That was the cost of all of the upcoming months in the remainder of the lease.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, just let it go.
Yeah.
If you're an apartment complex and a tenant dies, they're dealing with enough and not having to deal with you guys trying to collect the rent for a dead person. I mean, knock it off.
And you have an empty piece of property, so you can go out and find a new tenant.
All right, 7:29 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, Andrew is phoning in on his cell phone. Let's see if the phones are crystal clear now. Andrew, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, jeez. Unbelievable. Oh, God, it sounds awful. This is our phone system. Every single line is screwed up. I guess we had another lightning strike yesterday. Who knows?
Did
I thought lightning strikes.
I don't know. Well...
What was that?
He hung. So I can't take phone calls because I can't take calls with it totally distorted like that. You know what? We're gonna have to just kind of stumble through the inflation smasher with a distorted winner phone call just after 8 o'clock.
Okay, we could have Fester on the line with the winner. And you just relay the information from MJ, then he'll tell you, and you can act in character as the winner.
Roxanne, good thought. You mean well. Good thought. You're thinking out of the box. I mean, good idea. But you know what?
We're just gonna let MJ grump through it.
I'm just gonna have a distorted as hell contest on the air after 8 o'clock. You're on the
All right, we'll manage. We'll manage.
Oh boy,
we're not professionals, but we're really close.
Hey, you could just call Fester's cell phone.
No,
813-310-8444, and then
how does he screen 50 or 75 phone calls on there?
Now,
that's impossible. That's not a good idea.
Somebody said that I should take 105 texts.
No,
which isn't a terrible idea.
No.
We'll get through it.
We'll stumble through it in just a bit. I have to deal with the Fester complaint, folks. A Fester complaint rolled in via direct message on Instagram last night. Kellyanne Hackett. Now, I mentioned this at the beginning of the show at 6 o'clock, and I said that later on I will have to address this matter. It turns out that Fester really ticked off Kellyanne Hackett. Now, Kellyanne, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is what Kelly sent to me. MJ, what is wrong with Fester? I can no longer listen to your show. My boyfriend recorded Big Brother last night for us to watch tonight, and Fester had to spoil it today. He needs to wait at least 48 hours before he spills the beans. That's great. So Kellyanne Hackett is saying that she can no longer, you've chased away another listener. And folks, what happened yesterday, apparently Fester just blasted out all kinds of Big Brother stuff from Sunday night show.
Yes.
And
when it aired.
Right. And people obviously had a DVR recorded and hadn't seen it yet. And you destroyed the surprise, the element of the unknown. You blasted out this information. So you think that since it aired on Sunday Night Live, that Monday morning is fair game?
Yes, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, yeah, people are in this, I'm going to watch it at my time, but that doesn't entitle you to be free. What if somebody would have posted it on Facebook? What if you would have seen it somewhere else? It's not my fault. Hackett.
Don't say her name with disdain.
I said it actually phonetically correct. Hackett. but I'm sorry you feel that way. Listen, I've missed episodes of Big Brother, and then the Big Brother Insider Group, which I'm a premier member of on Facebook, says who won the competition, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I know what's going to happen on this episode, but you still watch. Was she talking about when I said T-Core won the HOH? And that was the only real nugget that I gave out. Then, of course, she nominated Tucker, which is an inside job, although I have a feeling that there's going to be a conspiracy against him. You can't hold any of this against me. I'm sorry that you missed the show, but that's it. It's like giving out the score to the Georgia Tech FSU game after the game is played. Oh, did you hear they won with a last-second field goal? They beat FSU?
How dare you give out the score?
What?
I didn't watch it live. I DVR'd it to watch it 3 days later.
I have the game on DVR.
All right.
You can't do that.
Maybe you got a point here. Listen, I'm just sensitive. I'm trying to build the audience, not lose listeners.
Oh, yes. I'm never listening again. Listen, first of all, I hope, Kelly, you can find room in your heart for grace and forgiveness.
Oh, man, I just got a text. Lon is a good buddy of mine. Lon says, MJ, help. My air conditioning's out. My house is hot as hell. Can you have the air conditioning company that you advertise call me right away?
How about you call them, Lon? Is your phone broken too?
Listen, Lon's a longtime friend of mine.
Can't dial up Plan B AC? Kenny at Plan B is pretty busy too, Lon.
All right, I'm gonna text Kenny from Plan B Air Conditioning. So, Lon, if you're listening right now, it's planbairconditioning.com. That's who we recommend.
Absolutely.
That's all right. Yeah, he said yes. So I'm going to text Kenny. Kenny Newman is the owner of Plan B Air Conditioning.
Put the two of them together.
Yeah. So I'm going to text. I'm going to find a spot where you and Roxanne are talking for like 10 seconds so I can go ahead and text Kenny.
Okay.
Call Lon.
As Kenny, many people have pointed out lately, those spots are becoming more and more rare, by the way.
What's that?
Which spots?
MJ
yeah.
MJ taking a 10-second breath.
Taking a breath. Kenny's a super nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He did my AC at the house. Plan B AC is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, all right. Hang on. I'll
ask Lon if he would like Kenny to bring breakfast over as well. Can they call me and bring me a McMuffin?
Hey, Roxanne, this would be more up your alley than my alley or Fester's alley. I want to see if you know what this is. What is a Venmo mom? I learned this terminology for the first time yesterday. I was yesterday years old. I hate that expression, but
I kind of. It depends what you learn, but I kind of like it.
It's like I was today years old when I learned X. All right, so I was yesterday years old when I learned what a Venmo mom is. Don't look it up. Don't go on your Googles. All right. Do you know what a Venmo mom is?
Well, let me tell you right now, I am a mom, and I have a list, and it says Venmo. And under that list, it has all the people that I owe money to that I will Venmo them. And most of them are sitters or,
Not
No?
correct.
Yeah. Best dealers.
I would go to phones here and ask our listeners, but of course that element of the show is destroyed because the phone system's all screwed up. No other guess?
So obviously Venmo is the Cash App service. You know.
Maybe. Oh, I know what it is.
I
just
guess
had
you
another
could
idea.
also be a Zelle mom, right?
Sure.
Okay, it's the mom who goes out with her friends, goes to a play date, goes to a bar, whatever, and says, I don't have any cash on me. Let me Venmo everybody here at the table.
Roxanne, that is a very good guess, but it is wrong. No, but that's a good guess.
That's a great guess.
Yeah, that is a great guess.
I was thinking you were right until you hit the buzzer.
All right,
Yeah,
let me give you a couple of other tips. You have children. Think of a Venmo mom in the realm of having children in school. Does that give you any other angles of attack?
Well, what,
Yeah, I mean,
They're
you pay off the bully not to beat your kid up.
yeah. Okay, their kids are in school. My kids are in school, but that doesn't help
That's
me
what I'm
at all.
saying. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a mom with young kids in
Kids
school.
in school.
All right, let me.
Venmo.
What is it? You pay for their school lunches via
Yeah.
Venmo.
No,
What?
no,
You
no.
pay for tutoring via Venmo.
You guys are not going to guess. Let me just say what it is.
Let's.
And I learned this for the first time. A Venmo mom. This woman says, "Hey, I'm a Venmo mom," and this has caused quite a bit of debate. She posted a video online. It has attracted hundreds of thousands of views and tons of comments. A Venmo mom is a mom that wants nothing to do with actual school activities. So doesn't want to be a room mom, doesn't want to be a school parent, doesn't want to deal with the PTA, doesn't want to be a team mom. A Venmo mom, in this case, wants nothing to do with any activity at school, just wants the Venmo money, and that's it. So you need class supplies, you need this. I'm just going to send money. That is a Venmo mom, just totally non-hands-on, has no interest in participate. And this is a Tennessee mother, says she doesn't want to volunteer in her kids' classrooms, doesn't want to do anything with their extracurricular activities. She says that she just wants to send money. That's it. She says, I don't want to be involved at all. Her name is Casey Neal. She's 31 years old. She's a mom of 4.
Well, she has to be a Venmo mom. Then.
And says in her video, in excess of 500,000 views right now, I will make sure my kids obviously do their homework and get to school on time, but I don't want anything to do with PTA, room mom, team mom. And she indicated that she just wants to send money. That's it. She'll just tell me where to Venmo the money. So that's the part that I'll play. I'll just send money. I don't want to actually participate. Now, does that make her a bad mother? Is that a bad mommy?
No, I'll tell you why. I'm actually dealing with a lot of this right now in my own life because it doesn't make her a bad mom because she has 4 children.
Even
So
if she had
how are
one,
you
doesn't
gonna-
make her a bad mom.
Right, exactly.
At no point does it make her a bad
At no
mom.
point. At no point. And she's obviously has the money to be able to throw it at whatever she needs to. Did I tell you guys that my daughter kind of bullied me into joining PTA? My older daughter.
Whoa,
Did I tell you
hold on.
that?
Your daughter what?
I make that joke. She
Bullied?
I make that joke because she has a strong personality. She was like, Mom, I want you to be a PTA mom. I want you to be at every event. I want you to be there in the morning collecting.
Hold on,
when
hold on.
they do dress down.
Your 7-year-old daughter
Yes,
is-
last year.
is bossing you like this?
She
Hold on, hold on.
was describing her
She wasn't
wants.
even 7. She was 6?
She was 6.
And
Yes.
she's bossing you?
She was saying, I want you to be at PTA. I want you to, and I said, well, honey, I can go. I'm in PTA. I actually was in PTA, but I was just in there as a Venmo mom. I had paid to be in PTA, but I wasn't participating. She's like, no. I want you at the events. I want you to collect tickets and collect money and give people tickets. And I want you to, and she was describing all these things she wanted me to do.
You're like,
And-
hell no.
No, I did it.
Oh.
So I'm part of it. And let me tell you, it is a time commitment, and I probably have the easiest job, but we have 2-hour plus 3-hour phone calls in a month or Venmo calls, Zoom calls. But here's my thing. I love it. I love
Okay.
like being on campus and doing stuff because it makes her happy. And then I'm happy with these other moms who are trying to do the same thing for the school. But I don't do anything for Daviana. Nothing.
So-
I'm Venmoing Daviana.
All right. So wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're favoring your 7-year-old and you're saying the hell with your 4-year-old?
I not intentionally.
You'll do stuff with the 7-year-old's class and you'll be involved, but the 4-year-old,
That's right.
wow.
Not intentionally, Daviana. And I tell
Wow.
Daviana, I go, you're going to get this same stuff once you're at the same school as Sissy.
Oh.
But right now, I don't even know what's going on in Daviana's classes. The moms have the class mom. I don't do any of that stuff. No.
So,
I'm appreciative of the moms who do.
Casey Neal, the 31-year-old mother of 4, anyway, 4 kids. She's been busy, all right? 4 kids at 31. That's what?
Okay.
What-
She's been busy.
She
She
has.
obviously doesn't have cable or read well. Because otherwise she'd have her face buried in a
All right.
book instead
So
of her pillow.
she said, listen to this. On her video, she said, I'm like, oh no, I know they're judging me because I'm not raising my hand to volunteer, but I don't want to do all that extra
Yeah,
bleep.
that's fine.
I don't want to come in. I don't want to set up, but she's more than happy to Venmo to help with whatever is needed. She'll throw money at it. She just doesn't want to go do it herself. If the room mom needs money for everyone to participate, fine. I'll Venmo money right over. I don't want to set up for it. I don't want to do it.
That's right.
Neil and her husband have 4 kids, ages 11, 7, 5, and 3, who are involved in all kinds of activities such as cheerleading, baseball, football, and more. I even told one of the coaches today that I'm a Venmo mom.
Yeah.
Because when your kids are on teams, as the parent volunteers are pretty common. For whatever the event is, or setup, or bring snacks, or whatever. Now she told one of the coaches today, "Nope, I'm not helping with that. I'm a Venmo mom. Just tell me where to send the money."
I'll pay for it, but I'm not going to show up for it.
I don't judge her for that, and I don't think moms judge her for that. You do whatever you can do to. She's helping.
Yeah.
She's helping monetarily.
Neil, who worked as a district manager and ran 5 stores for Andy's Frozen Custard until moving to Knoxville, Tennessee, said that her job made it more difficult for her to attend functions during the workday. There are a couple of Andy's in town. There's an Andy's on Gulf to Bay, just west of US 19.
Okay.
Andy's is good. Listen, I like Culver's. I like Andy's. I like frozen custard,
Do you
man.
like how terrible the managers are at being parents by just sending in money? Is that what you like?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I like Andy's frozen custard.
Okay.
And we've got a Culver's right down the street here on
Fantastic.
4th with also good frozen custard as well. Anyway, you learn something new every day.
I like that term.
A Venmo mom that just doesn't want to be part of the kids' activities.
She puts her money where her
Yeah.
kids are.
Well, I guess she takes them there. She doesn't want to volunteer.
Yeah.
All right. I saw this last night, and I don't doubt it. 1 in 4 Americans feel bored by their life. 1 in 4. It's 25%.
I bet you it's higher than that.
1 in 4, and that was my question. Do you think it's higher?
We define bored.
This is a new research survey. 2,000 U.S. residents were surveyed, and it found that it's actually more than a quarter. It's 27%. So for the sake of conversation, it's about 25%. 27% of respondents feel they've fallen into a mundane routine and a boring life. Yeah, the average respondent said they fantasize about going on some sort of adventure 4 times every day. So bored Americans, you have daydreams 4 times a day about going on? Elaine, I went down the Amazon when I met the so-and-so tribe, and they, really?
But yeah, I mean, MJ, everybody gets into a routine regardless of what you do. And you're like, okay, every routine gets mundane after a while.
That's sad, though, that
Everyone does.
1 in 4 Americans are bored with their
I
life.
think 1 in 4 Americans are brave enough to acknowledge it and admit it. Listen, everybody's routine wears on them in one way or another.
You know what would be great right now? We could do a call segment, ask people how they fight boredom.
Well, I was planning to go to phones.
Do you know what?
That was part of this segment. I was going to go to phones and say, "Hey, are you bored with your life? Call us up." but we can't take phone calls because the phone system is all destroyed.
Yeah. What do you
And-
guys do to fight boredom in your life?
Crack. No, it's just you get into the rut of having I'm in the kids season now. So I have
Yeah.
to pick
Oh, yeah.
these miserable kids up from school and make sure they're fed, and I have to do this radio show, and you got the other work, and you fall into a rut and a routine where you find that there's no time in your week that's not allocated to something or someone else.
Yeah, you know what you have to do to fight boredom is you have to have something on the horizon that you're looking forward to.
Yes.
If it's like a
Right.
vacation or if it's like even a night out, and then you have that thing, and then when you get bored or you get beat down, then you can fantasize about that thing.
I just hope that the bulk of our listeners are not bored with their lives, because that's sad. I'm sorry. It's just
I think it's a little bit more of the fact of regular life. I mean, I don't think I'm so bored. Is that what they're saying?
Well, I hope people aren't saying, "Oh, I'm so bored. I just want to end it." I hope that,
Jeez, that's extreme.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I hope that it doesn't morph into that. All right, there's something that bothers me. This is weird. Today I had so many phone segments planned. Just a lot of things that I wanted to get listener feedback on, but our phones are having a problem today.
Fester and I can change our voices. Look,
Yeah.
we've got Cajun Fester, we've got Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, listen,
we've got a myriad
folks
of people
can
who
call in. People can call in. Our phones are working. You can call in, but it is totally distorted if we put you on the air. So doing the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher in, 15, 20 minutes, that's going to sound phenomenal. But listen, I got to do it. I got to do the contest. I do have a phone item here, but I guess I can try to call Chloe, my daughter, on her cell phone, and I can just hold my cell phone up to the microphone because it actually sounds fairly decent. There's an issue, and this is driving me nuts. I don't think I've ever mentioned this, and I don't know when this started. I don't know where this started. I know that it's not exclusive to my daughter, but it's responding with the same question that you asked. Or let me give you an example. Let's say Chloe's running a little late for work and she's rushing. I'll say, Chloe, you need to get up earlier. And she'll say, you need to get up earlier.
Oh, I do that to you all the time.
What is that? When did this start? Where was the genesis of this kind of obnoxious, snide, kind of like a pitchback, just to throw it right back into your face?
She's your daughter?
But
she is essentially you.
I've never done that, and it's driving me nuts. Listen, I'm going to tell her to knock it off right now. Hold on. Let me call up Chloe. Call up Chloe. I'm going to call her on my cell phone.
I know what she's going to say. She's going to say, you knock it off.
Hold the cell phone up to the microphone. Listen to this.
Yes?
Chloe,
Yes.
are you rushing? Are you running late?
Yes.
Well, you need to get up earlier.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't do it.
What?
You didn't give me you need to get up earlier.
Oh.
Is that your defense mechanism where you just answer him with the same question he asked you?
All right, Chloe, when did this start? Where did you learn this behavior? What is this? Is this a Generation Z thing where you answer back with the same thing that I hit you with?
I think that I just started, and Mom started to do it too.
Yeah, she picked it up from you. All right, give me some other examples. What are some things that I've said to you recently, and then you hit me right back with the same thing?
I don't know.
I'm trying because you've done it. You know how it is. It's happened 100 times, and I'm trying to think of some examples.
But it's got to be on.
You should work out, and then I'm like, you should work out.
Oh yeah, exactly. So Chloe, Chloe's not as active, and Chloe's still in good shape. But Chloe, was listen, she was a Division I soccer player for 4 years.
Wait.
And so she worked out incessantly. She had team practices like every day. And and I said to Chloe, because I think Chloe needs to continue to exercise, and I'll say, Chloe, you really need to get out and do some running. And she'll say, you need to get out and do some running.
That's the best answer, MJ. You don't need to tell a woman when to work out. That's
Roxanne,
You're missing the point.
Roxanne, you're missing the point. It's the generalization. It's not the specific. No, that's the wrong angle.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. It's just whatever I'll say to Chloe, she'll hit me back with the same thing.
Right.
You need to work out.
So, like, when I say to MJ, what the bleep is wrong with you? And MJ looks at me, what the bleep is wrong with you? It's like,
Chloe, where did you learn that? Where did you first pick up on that? Do you know?
I just started doing it. I thought it was funny.
Did you invent this?
I don't know. I just started doing it.
I just assumed that this was an obnoxious Generation Z trait.
No, I don't think I learned that from anybody. I think I just started doing it.
Like, let's say Chloe's shoes are falling apart. Chloe, you need to go up to New Balance at West Shore and get some new sneakers. You need to go up and get some new sneakers.
Yeah.
I mean, would you please knock it off because it's driving me crazy, okay?
You knock it off.
See,
No.
that's the same thing. So, Chloe, knock it off, and you knock it off.
Yeah, you're driving me crazy.
All right, so how about you give that business to your bosses down at your job? Let's see what happens there.
Well, you should give it to your bosses.
All
All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, he does. He does.
It's driving me crazy.
Dude.
Yeah.
I got roped into an MJ and Ron meeting last week. I watched MJ wear this guy out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like watching MJ just laying it to him.
Ron is our general manager and market vice president.
Oh, man.
And yeah, it's a little thing that Fester and I are involved with, and I dragged Fester into a little meeting. You think I wore him out?
Ooh, yeah. When that door closes, I can see the guy just sigh. Oh, crap.
Oh, but hey, there's an update on the insane story of the dog adoption deal.
The shooting?
No. The dog adoption where the woman pulled a gun. It wasn't a shooting,
Okay,
but
all
a
right.
gun was pulled. So just to refresh everyone's memory, this is a Fox 13 story. We talked about this yesterday. They published this yesterday. The Tampa Police Department is investigating after a woman pulled out a gun when it appeared that she would not be getting a dog that she wanted to adopt. That's the way you settle a dog adoption that doesn't go your way. You just pull out a gun. 2 women ended up in a fight. One pulled out a gun when a dog adoption went sour in Tampa over the weekend, according to police. The Tampa Police Department says officers responded to the 1900 block of Meadowbrook Avenue around 12 p.m. This was over the weekend. During the altercation, authorities say that one of the women pulled out a gun. The Rags to Riches Animal Rescue Group says they were meeting a potential owner interested in adopting a dog when they say that she refused to give the dog back and then pulled a gun on them. Dominique Amorosa and her mom both run the Animal Rescue Group and were doing what's called a meet and greet for their 2-year-old rescue pug named Bluey. Cute little pug. It's the first step if a dog adoption is to be successful to see if the owner and the dog will be a good fit. When we realized it wasn't, Amorosa said the woman didn't take it well. She put the gun to the back of my head, makes me crouch, and then she moved it to my temple. That's where I got the cut. I don't know what was on her gun. Bluey uses a wheelchair after being hit by a car and needs special care. When they explained to the woman that it wouldn't be a good fit because she had several other dogs with her, she refused to hand the dog back over, then elbowed Amorosa's mother as she tried to grab the dog back. That's when I started screaming a bunch of, words in hopes that somebody would come out. And my lovely neighbor came out and saw her with my mom, ran into the house to call 911. That's when Amorosa said she threatened to let the women's other dogs go if she didn't give Bluey back. I mean, this is This is a nutso story. So a woman shows up.
Look at this pug in a wheelchair.
Yeah, so the pug has an injury, and the pug is able to really kind of race around, and it has the little the cart, because the back legs are obviously problematic for the pug.
Yeah, little doggy wheelchair.
It has the little doggy wheelchair where the dog can, run on the front legs, but needs assistance with the rear. And the update is somebody sent me an Instagram message from Rags to Riches that they posted. So this was posted yesterday, and this is the Rags to Riches Animal Rescue. I mean, they're just trying to find a good home for a pug that needs help, that was injured in a car wreck and uses a little doggy wheelchair.
This dog doesn't need to be in a house with like 8 other dogs.
Well, and also some nut that pulls a gun because the rescue operation doesn't think that it's a good fit to let this person adopt the dog.
Yeah, those people must have been terrified.
So here's the update, because we mentioned this on yesterday's show. I wanted to give you a little more background from the Fox 13 story, but here is the social media post from the adoption folks, Rags to Riches Animal Rescue. They posted this on social media yesterday. We've been in contact with the higher-ups at Tampa Police Department today. We voiced our concerns, especially about a misleading Facebook post that made it look like a consensual fight, something that was never the case. The truth is, this woman premeditated stealing our dog if we didn't go through with the adoption. None of this would have happened if she simply accepted no as an answer and just left. No, we're not going to let you adopt this little injured pug. You're not a good fit. Instead, she inflicted trauma on multiple people and made us all fear for our lives, including Bluey's. Leaving could have easily resolved the issue, but instead, after giving the dog back, she chose to pull a gun, traumatizing everyone involved. We deeply appreciate the kind comments, advice, and the efforts from others to ensure better safety for rescue workers. Honestly, I didn't want to share this moment until I realized I could turn it into something positive by warning others about the dangers in this line of work. Who the hell thought that, operating a nice doggy adoption operation would be so dangerous?
My parents adopt pugs, and their new pug, Chloe, is a rescue pug.
They named a dog after MJ's kid?
No, not after MJ's kid, just because they like
their new dog.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean
They have another dog named Julian? That's really creepy.
No, but if I had ever had a boy, I would have named it Julian, ironically.
So she continues, I hope this encourages other people. I lost my place.
The dangers of this job.
I hope this encourages everyone to take extra. The thing shrunk, so I gotta bring it back out. I hope this encourages everyone to take extra precautions during meet and greets, and serves as a warning about this individual who is disturbingly comfortable with what she did. She's clearly unwell. You know what?
Yeah.
I am not medically trained in the psychological or psychiatric field, but I'm going to make a snap diagnosis and concur that if somebody pulls out a gun at a potential animal adoption meet and greet and holds it to the adoption folks' head, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that person is unwell.
And you say you don't have any certifications in this field.
No, I don't. She's clearly unwell, and I hope she gets the help she needs. I can't understand why she thought any of this would play in her favor. Please remember that we are people, and this was an incredibly scary experience for us. Be respectful in your comments.
Just a little long-winded of explanation.
I think this is.
I don't think so. I think it's very clear and concise.
Me too. She could have done it with 2 less paragraphs.
Get out of here,
I'm just
Fester.
saying.
Anyway, stop it. All right. So, who thought that you're trying to do amazing work? You're trying to rehabilitate injured dogs. In this case, this injured pug.
Bluey.
Bluey's up for adoption. The woman shows up And when things don't go her way, it appears that she's not going to be able to adopt the dog. She pulls a gun and holds it to the people's head.
Yeah, I think
mean,
this
what
is
the hell?
a real anomaly. I'm picturing my parents as the type who go and adopt pugs, rescue pugs, and they would never behave like that.
So they got video of the woman coming around her car with a gun in her hand.
Well, the deal is that I got to believe that there's going to be an update from TPD on this matter, because initially there were no charges. Initially, the early investigation, I guess they couldn't put the whole story together, and there were, I guess, some anomalies in both sides of the story, but it seems pretty clear that the folks that were offering the pug for adoption, I don't think they pulled a gun on the potential adopter. So I would think that the investigation is going to go a little deeper, a little further. And it wouldn't surprise me if the woman that pulled the gun is then subsequently arrested here. But it seems that there's now more to the story that's coming out, unless the folks that are offering up the pug for adoption, unless they're completely misrepresenting, but I mean, they sound pretty legit to me with the information that I have.
Well, we need to get more information. We should talk to the officer investigating the case.
Who's that?
A new addition to the Tampa Police Department.
Who's that?
McGruff, the crime dog.
Oh, really?
I'm McGruff, the crime dog. Let me show you something. See that?
McGruff.
Get McGruff out
working
there.
for TPD.
But what a bizarre story. I mean, things that you just wouldn't expect. A simple meet and greet for a dog adoption.
Let's
Next
all
thing you
work
know,
together and take a bite at a crime.
The gun-wielding woman sounds like Cruella de Vil-ish. Like maybe she was going to get the pug and make it into a coat.
Roxanne, you're correct.
That's just off the rails.
Yeah.
I don't think we've heard the last of this story.
You haven't heard the last of McGruff either.
Stop it, Fester.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
No, that's Smokey
That's
Bear.
Smokey.
Oh, let's take a bite at a crime.
Yeah. Oh, so what's the name of the bear?
Smokey the Bear?
Hold on, say it again.
Smokey the Bear?
Fester, what is it?
McGruff the crime dog.
No, the bear.
Smokey the Bear.
All right. Yeah. So, do you realize there's no the? This is
Really?
seriously.
Smokey Bear?
Yep. This has been it's been bastardized over the years. It's not Smokey the Bear. So when you say Smokey the Bear, and only you can prevent forest fires.
Well, he wouldn't refer to himself as the bear.
No.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear.
No.
But-
the character is Smokey Bear.
But that doesn't make sense because he's trying to prevent wildfires. Now he's coming out like he's a smoker, Smokey Bear. I'm smoking, starting fires. Like, no, that doesn't make Smokey the Bear sense.
As a crime dog,
Yeah.
I have to say that's a good point.
Right?
All right. No, it is Smokey Bear. And over the years, it's become, I guess, acceptable, or everyone thinks that it's Smokey the Bear, when in fact it's just Smokey Bear. All right, moving along.
We can't even watch a commercial from the early 80s for clarification?
All right, go
Let's see what he
ahead.
says.
Yeah, let's
Go
see what he
ahead.
was.
Go ahead. All right.
It only takes a careless moment to turn this into this.
Campfire gone awry.
Yep.
Don't let forest fires be your fault. Make sure your fire
Smokey.
is dead out.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
He doesn't say his name.
No, it doesn't say it.
Ah.
Well, that was also the Canadian forestry.
I
Well,
think
even
Smokey-
with this, I'm still going to refer in any forest fire discussions. He's still Smokey the Bear.
It's
to me.
not. That's incorrect. It's wrong. It's just Smokey Bear. You got to take the out. There's no the in Smokey Bear.
I think he's STB to me.
Nope. It's Smokey Bear. Stop. Hey, I feel bad.
Stop. He's very offended. He's very,
Stop.
Stop. That's enough. You're really hitting home. Drop the ball, please.
I feel really bad for Mariah Carey.
Oh my gosh! I know.
Wow. We'll play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. And folks, you're going to hear the most distorted phone caller playing the game in just a few minutes.
I'm really looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
because our phone system is all jacked. I wish Smokey Bear would light this place on fire and just burn it to the ground, so we have to rebuild from the ground up.
Only you can light the radio station on fire.
Exactly. All right. So we'll play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher in just a matter of moments. Now, I really feel bad for Mariah Carey. Yesterday, Mariah Carey revealed that her mother, Patricia, and her sister, Allison, died on the same day over the weekend. Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Were they involved in like an accident or something?
No.
No.
Mariah Carey revealed that her mother, Patricia, and her older sister, Allison, passed away same day. My heart is broken that I've lost my mother this past weekend. Sadly, in a tragic turn of events, my sister lost her life on the same day. I feel blessed that I was able to spend the last week with my mom before she passed. I appreciate everyone's love and support and respect for my privacy during this impossible time. Carey did not reveal details about her mom and sister's passing, so the cause of death is not known at this time. It appears that Allison, Mariah's older sister, was 63, and Patricia, Mariah Carey's mother, was 84 years old. Wow. I feel terrible. Mariah, our thoughts are with you. I mean, mother and sister both pass on the same day over the weekend? Oh, that's rough. All right, let's try and play this game. The MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. If you are caller number 50, caller 50 right now, you'll get to play the game. Now, we're sick and tired of high prices. We're sick and tired of the inflation. We've been hammered over the last couple of years. You know that the trip to the grocery store is ridiculously more expensive than it was just a couple of years ago. So, all right, we're not just complaining about it. We're doing something about it with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. Your call will potentially win you the money right now. All right, so make the call. If you're the right caller, caller 50, 800-990-1047, you get to play the game. And you get to smash the glass and see how much money is behind the glass with the Inflation Smasher. So caller 50 right now, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Caller 50 right now, and you get to play. And we'll also get to hear how distorted the phone call is because our phone system has gone to hell in a handbasket.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right. Andrew, you going to screen these calls?
I'll go through them.
Let Andrew start screening. All right. So Inflation Smasher in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. Roxanne, let me see your eyebrows. Oh, you know what? A little bit. A little bit. I'm looking at Roxanne's eyebrows right now.
It's making me uncomfortable when you're looking at me. I prefer the screens in our faces where we can't see each other in the studio with the terrible sight lines.
Are you self-conscious of your eyebrows since you brought it up? I mean,
no, I think I have pretty nice eyebrows.
You're uncomfortable if I look at you?
This is very off-putting right now. Yes.
Hold on. What is the fact that I'm staring at you? I'm
critically staring.
I'm off-putting you?
Yes,
I mean,
that's
you
a
asked
very
to see her
critical.
eyebrows.
Yeah. Let me see your nose hairs, MJ. Let me get right up in there.
I'll show you mine. Come here.
I see them every day.
Come on, go
See mine.
All right. Roxanne, are you aware of the new eyebrow trend?
Oh, I've seen some crazy eyebrow trends.
Tell me what you think is going on, and I'll tell you if you're right.
I've seen stuff with colored eyebrows.
Nope.
I've seen stuff where they're going up, like the brows get brushed up.
Like you're always surprised?
There's a little bit of that.
Where the actual hairs are pointed up.
Oh.
Yeah. And then it's still like in the shape of a brow.
Here's the deal. Apparently the skinny brow is coming back. The skinny brow is where, and it's, I guess, a big deal with Generation Z. You know, the crowd born 1997 to 2012, like my daughter is Gen Z, she's 23. And for whatever reason, they're these thin, almost non-existent, wispy eyebrows. So either they're waxing or threading or plucking, or they're using the pencils to draw these ultra thin eyebrows. It's the return of the skinny brow. Hey, we also recently talked about the return of the skinny jeans. Remember, skinny jeans went away for a while, and now skinny jeans are coming back with the Generation Z crowd as well.
Yeah, skinny brows, here's what happens. Everything goes in trend, comes out of trend. What's going to happen is these young Gen Zers are going to pluck and wax and get their brows thin like they want them now for the look. And then all of a sudden, thicker brows are going to come back.
Were you
fashion.
aware of this thin brow trend? Have you noticed that women are increasingly thinning out their brows? Younger women on the Generation Z side?
I'll tell you, I've noticed that I haven't seen as many bushy brows. For a while there, you were seeing thicker brows.
No.
Like people were getting the
That's the way to go.
micro
Au
needling.
natural.
Big, like Martin Scorsese brows?
I like a big, bushy-browed woman, boy, I tell you.
Like those giant bushy caterpillars. Remember those things that invade?
Au natural, man.
In more than one place, right?
The whole package.
All right. 8:13 at the MJ Morning Show. Let me grab line 4 is actually the 50th caller. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hi.
What all right, folks, I'm going to warn you right now. We have more equipment failure here at the radio station. Our phone system is a distorted pile of crap right now. What is your name?
My name is Rebecca.
Rebecca, it is great to have you on Q105, even if you're distorted beyond belief. Do we sound good to you? Do we sound clear?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, you're all distorted and mangled, and you sound like crap. But it's our fault, not yours. So, Rebecca, where are you calling from?
I'm at work in Tampa right now.
I'm sorry. What do you say?
I'm at work in Tampa right now.
Oh, okay, you're at work in Tampa, right? What kind of work do you do?
Accounting clerk.
What?
Accounting clerk.
What? I think you said you said you're counting quack. What are you saying?
I'm an accounting clerk.
Oh, accounting clerk. Okay. Should I have like a half an hour conversation with?
I love her.
Yeah, I think so.
She's fantastic.
With Rebecca. All right, Rebecca, do you know how to play the Inflation Smasher?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Rebecca, are you a regular MJ Morning Show listener?
I am, but my radio hasn't been working. It just came back on today.
Wow, I wish my phone system would come back on right now and sound crystal clear. All right, so Rebecca, here's the deal. The Inflation Smasher is simple. We're going to start the Inflation Smasher machine. It's going to start spinning and whirling. And then when I say, Rebecca, anytime, you yell as loud as you can, and we're going to need it today. You yell, smash it. We smash the glass, and then you get the money behind the glass, and it's going to be nothing less than $500, could be up to $1,000. Are you ready to play, Rebecca?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's start the Inflation Smasher.
The MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher has been activated.
All right, Rebecca, the Inflation Smasher is spinning, it's whirling. Rebecca, when you're ready, say, smash the glass.
You've won $700.
Yes! All right, Rebecca, you got $700.
I'm so excited.
All right, Rebecca, it was fantastic to hear you say, all right, Rebecca.
I mean, on your end, it sounded normal, but on our end, it sounded like you were a hostage.
Yeah, it sounds like your mouth is taped. Yeah, it sounds. Yeah, it's like you're a hostage. You're bound and gagged. Rebecca, thanks for listening to the MJ Morning Show on Q105 in Tampa. And I think you said you were an accountant. Well, guess what? You can account for the $700 cash you just won with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for I really appreciate you listening to the MJ Morning Show. All right, Rebecca, hold on. Andrew will pick up the phone, okay?
Okay.
We'll get all the information. All right. Folks, I apologize for the What the hell? Obviously, I can elect not to take phone calls with our content, which I'm not going to do because our phones are wrecked. But how do I not play the contest?
I mean, you have to.
I have to play. It's distorted as hell contest live on Q105.
It's like the biggest promotion we've had all quarter, and we have to do it, right?
Yeah. Should we go, MJ, should we go just broadcast from your house? Don't you have all the equipment there? And you could probably take calls there. Right?
Yeah.
Should we start doing it from your home?
You know what? My home setup is better than this place.
I don't see why we don't do the show on Zoom.
Oh, boy.
Do it from my own house.
Folks, oh, man. I would like to arson this whole place. Just
What'd you say? You made up a word yesterday, arsenate?
Arsenate. Yeah, I'd like to arsenate the whole place. At 8:17 at the MJ Morning Show. Congratulations, Rebecca just grabbed $700. It'll happen again after 3. So after 3 o'clock this afternoon with Gino, your chance to call in again and play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. Up to $1,000 cash and nothing less than $500. So congratulations, Rebecca. All right, moving along here. Oh, I see Roxanne is look, she's already plucked out some of her eyebrows. She's already gone thinner.
Yeah, you've pressured me into it with that new trend. Really want to stay on point with the trends.
Oh, man. All right. This is a weird story. A computer executive. I want to know if you think that there's more afoot here or if this really is a medical condition. I'm going to roll the story by you. So I'll let Fester and Roxanne be the jury here. A computer executive with a bladder ailment is suing for $1.5 million because he was fired from his company after he peed in the lobby of a Times Square, New York hotel.
Wait. So he knows he has the problem.
Right.
He's in the hotel. Why is it the company's fault?
Well, I never said it. No, the company fired him for peeing in the hotel.
Oh, for peeing in the hotel. He has a bladder issue.
Was it work related?
Well, here's the deal.
Was he meeting some clients?
Did he pee on someone?
A former computer executive has a bladder issue, is insisting that his ex-company wrongly terminated him for peeing in the lobby of a Times Square hotel after a business meeting, and one of his bosses spotted him peeing in the lobby and then fired him for peeing in the hotel lobby. Richard Becker.
Oh, that's a tough one.
A former salesman at Lenovo, the computer company. In fact, I've got a Lenovo. I've got a T580 right here. I've got an old, my little laptop that I use as my little laptop during the show. I've got a Lenovo T580, which, is a number of years old. It's still working just fine. So Richard Becker worked for Lenovo, and he's now suing Lenovo for $1.5 million because he said he could not make it back to his room at the Westin, New York, and instead had no choice but to urinate in the hotel's lobby.
I mean, that's a tough ailment, man.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Listen, if you've got
I've never had a case as an adult where I couldn't make it to where I was going.
The 66-year-old said that he visited a bathroom 5 times during the business meal, but became overwhelmed with his bladder condition on the walk back to the hotel and just had to go to the bathroom right in the middle of the lobby in the Westin in Times Square. He wasn't discreet enough, however, and was spotted doing the number one by another Lenovo employee who reported it to the company brass. That was done out of spite and malice, according to the lawsuit. 4 days later, Mr. Becker was fired without notice or severance, despite the company having full knowledge of his longtime bladder condition. Now he's suing Lenovo. What do you think? What are your thoughts here?
I feel bad for him. I've never, as an adult, I'm like Fester. I've never had the issue of loss of bladder control. I did pee my karate suit in 7th grade.
It's called a gi.
Yeah, I did pee my gi.
You pee the gi.
I had just gotten my yellow belt. Ironically, I
Nice.
had just gotten my first belt.
You got your yellow crotch, too.
Yes, I broke a board.
Got my yellow belt, my yellow crotch. Yes, go ahead.
I was in 6th grade, and I got in the car.
What about your brown belt? Did you get to
Thank goodness it wasn't that one.
You get your brown belt as well? Is brown belt before yellow belt?
No,
or?
brown belt is you're almost to a black belt when you're brown belt. Yeah.
So brown belt is so number 2 after
yeah. No,
yellow.
Yes, there's a progression.
I'm looking at the lobby at the Westin in Times Square, and there is not a lot of good places to just take a leak. There's.
Oh my gosh, guys!
What?
I got engaged there.
What?
Yeah.
You got engaged at the Westin in Times Square?
Yes.
In the lobby?
Where the Lenovo computer guy peed in the lobby? You got engaged?
Yeah.
With Doug?
No, with 3 other ex-fiancés.
No, I can't keep track of everything. So Doug
Oh my
proposed
God.
to you right in the
That's
corner
so
of the
funny.
lobby of the hotel where this guy took a leak?
I think so.
You got proposed in the lobby?
I'm looking at that lobby. It looks like the
It's the Westin in New York, Times Square.
Yeah, that's the one with the big elevator that goes up?
They all have elevators. It's
Yeah.
New York. Yes, they all have big
Just trying to
elevators.
picture
It's the hotel in New York with the elevator.
No, you know, the one with the elevator, the big one. It's the hotel with the elevators.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I got to tell him.
He-
Yeah, we got engaged early in the morning. It was like 4:00 in the morning.
In the lobby of a
yes,
hotel?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I have to catch my cab. Hold on. I must ask you something. Will you make me the happiest man and take my hand in marriage, and I'll marry you in 12 years?
8 years from
Wow.
now. See, I don't remember for sure if that was a hotel because
So-
that was a long
Hey,
time ago.
Speaking of New York, can I offer up a public service announcement quickly here?
Does it have to do with pizza? Because if it does,
No,
the answer's no.
it is not pizza related.
good.
But listen, everyone knows I'm a pizza nut, but this has nothing to do with pizza.
Okay, what is it?
All right. First of all, obviously try to make it to a bathroom and don't pee or poop in the hotel lobby. But that's not my that's not my public service announcement. Seriously.
Okay, all right.
Listen, I'm going to save you money. I'm going to save you a lot of hassle. I'm going to save you a lot of heartache. I saw a story in the last couple of days, and it just, talking about New York and hotels and tourism type things, it just reminded me of this. I saw a story recently about, one of the pedicabs. Those are the pedal cabs. I think they have those in, aren't there some down in St. Pete or?
Are they like, is a rickshaw
Yeah,
an appropriate term?
Well,
or is that like a?
Well, the rickshaw are the ones where they would carry you and walk. That's like a traditional Chinese rickshaw. But the pedicabs are you sit in the back. It's like got a little covered back sometimes, and then the guy is on the bicycle up front. It's a pedicab, a pedal cab, folks. I saw a story recently in the last couple of days about a tourist claiming that they were like sexually harassed horrifically by the pedicab guy. But that just kind of jarred my memory. Folks, if you go to New York, avoid the pedicabs at all costs. Do not, whatever you do not get in a pedicab. The bicycle little taxis or whatever the hell you want to call them.
Why not?
Dude, because they are absolute blatant ripoffs. They're like $8 to $9 a minute. You go for a 9-minute ride and it's like $90, all right? Or 10-minute ride, $90. It is the biggest ripoff on the planet. Do not, I repeat, ever get into a pedicab in Manhattan, in New York City. Don't do it. They are known ripoffs. They're aggressive. Just ignore them. A lot of times they'll solicit and they'll come up to you and they'll say, "Hey, you need a ride?" And, "Oh, sure, let me get in this thing." And sometimes they have the amount posted. Sometimes the sign is all covered up. And some of these cabs are charging $8, $9, $10 a minute. Do not get into a pedicab in New York. A public service from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105.
Well, I got in one in Toronto and got hosed.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep,
so
I did.
hold on. Why would you get into a pedicab? And how much per minute was the pedicab in Toronto?
Oh, you tried to charge us like $90.
There you go. For
Yeah.
how many minutes? Like
I
a
mean,
5-minute
10
ride?
10 minutes.
10-minute
Yeah, it was
ride,
absurd.
$90?
It was absurd. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
How long ago was that?
Probably 15 years ago.
All right, so
No, probably 20 years ago.
but now you
Whoa.
know better. Obviously,
Now I wouldn't get in one, but I wasn't even going to pay him $1. But my friend was trying. I was like, no, that's you're a con artist.
In Toronto, it's $1. So
Yeah.
say it right. Yeah, was it 90 American or Canadian? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't remember.
yeah, whatever
Long
you
time
do,
ago.
I'm telling you, folks, whatever you do, this is an MJ Morning Show public service announcement. Never get into one of these pedicabs.
But I don't have to worry about that. I exceed the weight limit. So
This is kind of fun. This is kind of on the fun side. Listeners sent me, and I love getting emails. I love getting direct messages. Folks, if you want to email me, if you got some gossip, you got some hot tips, you got some information we got to know here on the MJ Morning Show. If you want to remain anonymous, if you ever need to communicate with me, send me an email. My private email, I'm the only one that goes through it. My private email is mj@mjmorningshow.com. That's mj@mjmorningshow.com. And, of course, you can send me a DM on Instagram. My DMs are totally open. My DMs are available at Certified MJ Radio. So on Instagram, I'm Certified MJ Radio, and you can direct message me there as well. So someone sent me this link, and I thought this was kind of cute. Thought this was fun. About the 10 falsehoods, the blatant lies that parents told their kids. And I don't know if they still tell. I mean, it's sort of like the 80s and the 90s.
all right.
You know, the blatant lies that your parents told you when you grew up. And I just thought this was a fun list. All right, number 1, you know what it is?
We'll love you forever.
Drinking coffee stunts your growth.
I heard that one.
I did too.
Yep. So I'm telling you, we've all heard these. You tell me if there's one on the list that you never heard. All right, number 2, if you pee in the pool, the water changes color. That is the biggest lie. Remember the old thing? If you pee in the pool, there's going to be like a red ring, a red circle that, I remember here. I heard that when I was a kid in the 70s.
I prove that wrong every time I go into a pool.
Yeah. Number 3, chocolate milk comes from brown cows. I know. I heard that as a kid. Come on. Number 4, if you swallow the watermelon seeds, a watermelon will grow in your stomach. I remember I was traumatized with that by my grandmother when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Oh yeah. Did you also play? You can't play it anymore because it's not politically correct. The game where you guys didn't do this. See,
What is it?
girls had a whole different experience with watermelons. We'd take the seeds, however many seeds we had, we'd count them and like do this little nursery rhyme, and it would tell what kind of man you were going to marry.
Whoa.
Yeah, you didn't do that?
Hold.
The watermelon seed
Hold on.
dating game?
Run me through this. Just run me through exactly how it works.
You eat a piece of watermelon, and then you count all the seeds
So
that are
I'm
remaining
gu-
on your plate.
I'm guessing you cannot go and get a seedless watermelon.
No, you have to do it with seeds.
All right,
That's the whole
all right.
point.
So I'm kidding around. All right. So
Yeah.
so you eat a slice of watermelon,
Yes.
and then you spit out the seeds, and then you count the seeds on your plate.
Yes. And then you say, rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, soldier, sailor, tinker, tailor.
Can you say Indian chief?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
it's a job.
You're going to get canceled now.
It's a
That's
job.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what, Seminole Hard Rock Casino's going to come and
Yeah.
say, listen, Roxanne's out of here.
And I'm going to say, hey, I'm just,
Is that the
trying to
whole,
set
is that
somebody
the
up.
whole
That's
rhyme,
it.
or does it
Yeah,
go?
that's it. I mean, that's all I remember. There were more than that.
So
And
wait a minute.
I just
so,
remember I didn't. Tinker was the one I never wanted to end on Tinker.
All right. So wait a minute.
I was
So it's sort of like eeny,
Or poor
meeny,
me.
miny, mo.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
and then whatever seed you hold on.
That's your husband.
But what do you need the seeds for?
To count, to get. So if you have you stop the rhyme, you keep saying it over and over.
Based on the number of seeds you have.
Exactly.
All right. So
Rich
do you
man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer,
Indian chief,
Indian chief.
soldier, sailor, tinker, tailor. And then you start again.
What's a tinker?
That's what I'm saying. I never wanted to land
What
on
the hell's a
tinker because
tinker?
I didn't know what a tinker was.
Tinker's a guy who plays with himself all day. A tinker.
What is a tinker?
Hold on, I pulled it up. Tinker.
A metal worker.
Metal
A metal worker.
And then
Yeah.
he goes
From
home
the 13th century.
so I guess he made horseshoes and shields, and then he went to go play with himself.
All right.
I'm just tinkering with
So,
myself.
do you recall what you landed on in one of these little games?
I ate plenty of watermelon, so I played it multiple times. I mean, this is that's what you did every time you had a piece. You're like, oh, who am I going to marry? I almost did it with my kids recently, and then I was like, nah, I don't want them. Just if it's offensive to anyone with that.
All right, number 5 on the list of the lies that were told to you as a kid.
When your kids go to school offending Native Americans, do you?
Number 5 on the list.
Yes.
If you swallow gum, it'll take 7 years to digest.
Well, that's true.
Remember? No, it's not true.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
What, it just runs right through you like everything else?
That's coming right through you. I distinctly remember that as well. That, hey, you swallow gum, it takes 7 years to digest. Blatant lie we were told as a kid. All right, here's another one. It's illegal to drive with lights on inside the car. I remember my dad. Yes, remember the dome light. I remember as a kid that, Dad would turn the dome light on and Mom would complain, oh, I can't, because I remember as a kid, I know what it was. That some of the cars we had, that we had access to the dome light, that there was a switch
in the back
on the ceiling, and we could turn the light on ourselves in the car. And that's right, we would mess around with my dad. It's illegal. We can't drive with the light on, especially at night. All right, number 7.
Hey, back to the lights on thing. I'll tell you right now, we should have lied to our kids about that. Because they would listen if we're like, we're going to get pulled over right now. Turn it off. Meanwhile, now we have to say, please turn it off. Please turn it off. Turn it off.
You should have told your daughter she'll marry a tinker.
All right, number 7 on the list of lies we were told as a kid. Sitting too close to the TV will ruin your eyes. How many times did I hear that?
Well, guess what? Holding your phone like this will ruin your eyes. It's ruining kids' eyes.
Yeah.
So
well, hey, you know what? That was kind of prescient because
yes, exactly.
Look at all the screen time these days. The kids and the computers and the phones and what do they call blue light?
Yeah, blue light.
Isn't blue light emanating from all these screens and devices?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it supposed to be bad for your eyes?
Whatever. You don't see a bunch of blind people walking around. Oh, curses, that damn phone.
All right, number 8. We've all heard this one. Don't crack your knuckles. It'll do what?
It'll make them bigger?
No, give you arthritis. Well, I guess
that's right.
Technically, I guess that's right because your arthritis can make your knuckles bigger. So don't crack your knuckles. It'll give you arthritis. That's another one we were told as kids. Oh, this is a biggie. You have to wait 30 minutes at least
to go into the pool after you eat.
Exactly.
31 minutes is fine. 29, not cool.
No bueno.
Nope. 29, you drown.
Yep.
31, you're Mark Spitz.
You're
like you're Katie Ledecky. All right.
Greg Louganis.
You're Greg Louganis. No, then you crack your. Who cracked it? Was it?
See, he probably ate 29 minutes before he did his dive.
Hit his head.
Yeah, that
he
was
hit his
Louganis.
head. Yeah, exactly. All right, so that was a biggie. Yeah, you got to wait 30 minutes before you swim. That's all right. And number 10 on the list. If you get a tattoo, you'll never get a job. Did you ever hear that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't hold up anymore.
Yeah. If you won't find a job if you get a tattoo.
What
Yes.
about this is a good one when you make a face and it's like, don't cross your eyes. They're going to stay like that.
Oh, yeah. Or don't make a funny face. It'll stick that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad had one, and he was right.
All right,
He
hang
told
on.
me if I keep this up, I'll go blind. And you know what? I just bought a pair of readers, so it's taken a long time. But
Andrew says,
pay the piper now.
Andrew says we've got a caller on the line that wants to add one to the list.
lay it on.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if
Let's see how
Mary
this-
is still all distorted sounding. Hi, Mary. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, guys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we had a little dog that I was crazy about, and they had to have her put to sleep, but they told me that they had a friend that had a lot of land that the dog went to live with.
Every dead dog lives on a farm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Mary, thank you for calling in, even though you were distorted. Thank you.
It wasn't her fault.
Oh, Mary, it's not your fault. It's our phone system died. All right. Yeah, I don't think we should take any more damn phone calls.
A lot of lies.
Hey, guess what's up for auction?
What was up for auction last week? Like Babe Ruth's jersey got like $20 million. I saw that.
Yeah, this is much bigger than Babe Ruth's jersey. the Friends couch from the TV show is up for auction.
I guess they still have all that
Yeah.
all those props, right?
I guess so.
Perfect time to.
Mean
I
vials.
was about to say, have they taken out all of Matthew Perry's drugs?
Yeah. I mean, that's such a sad story. I don't mean to make light of it. Julian's Auctions
I mean to make light of it, by the way.
is hosting an exclusive event. It's a little under a month away. It's going to be September 23rd in Los Angeles. And if you're a Friends fan, I guess you gotta go to this auction, or I'm sure they're going to do it online or phone in as well. But a variety of items from the Friends TV show up for auctions, including a replica of the iconic orange Central Perk couch. So hold on a minute. A replica of is that not the real couch then?
No, I'm looking at a lot of things on this site.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. Who the hell wants a replica of the couch? How is this even a valid auction? You're not auctioning off the actual couch that was used on the set?
I mean, they're disclosing it's a replica. So
in Central Perk?
You're not buying it for the $20,000 or the $50,000 somebody would pay for it.
Well, why do you, if it's a replica, why the hell do you want to, what value does this have? If it's not the actual, here's a replica of the Babe Ruth jersey.
Maybe you like the high back couch. It does look like a well-made couch.
That's not the point. The point is, this auction sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
A replica orange couch?
Look, here's the couch, reproduction. The sign, the Central Perk that hung behind, reproduction. The Geller Cup trophy.
This is the dumbest ass auction I've ever heard of.
Reproduction.
This is a dumb auction.
There's a couple of pieces of original clothing, and then reproductions.
One of Matthew Perry's signature sweaters. That apparently is a real sweater that he did wear.
Yeah, the clothing seems to be. Here's Chandler Bing's sweater, $450 right now.
This is a dumb auction. It appears that a lot of the auctioned items are replicas and not. Why would anyone want a replica? What is the intrinsic collectible value of a replica versus real items from the television set?
Maybe it's not to be collectible. Maybe it's just.
This sucks. This auction blows.
All right, so they have copies of. They have.
I'm embarrassed that the auction company is the same name as my son, Julian's Auctions.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, it's spelled differently because Julian is Julian. This is Julien.
Oh.
Sucks. I hate this story. Awful. Absolutely terrible. A little more on the Ben Affleck and J-Lo front. A couple of things of interest here. Sources close to Jennifer Lopez slamming Ben Affleck after having what they say is, quote, a dark side that cannot be fixed. Ooh, that sounds ominous, doesn't it?
It does.
Does Ben Affleck, have you ever heard that Ben Affleck has a dark side?
I mean, some guys, he's been in recovery for a long time, I think, right? And he's dealing with other issues, and it might, it's also a lot of spin.
When I hear dark side, I think like maybe he's into, I don't know, devil worshiping or something.
When I hear of dark side, I'm thinking of Darth Vader. But listen, MJ, she's going to say something crappy just to besmirch him now. Okay. I don't know if I believe either of them.
I got to be honest. When I think of the dark side, I think of, that's enough of that. So here's the deal. Ben Affleck has a darkness in him that cannot be fixed, according to sources that are close to now ex-wife Jennifer Lopez. Why are they calling it? They're not divorced yet. Why does this story say now ex-wife Jennifer Lopez?
Because the whole story sucks. Wait, so one of her girlfriends is talking crap about him
after the A-list couple Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez officially filed for divorce last week. The knives have come out. Lopez truly believed this was the greatest love story she'd ever known, that she was finally getting a chance at her fairy tale. She just really didn't stop to consider who the actual man was in the fairy tale, according to the source.
MJ, I sent you an email on this last night. You know who he is.
Who?
Batman.
Oh, yeah. I'm Batman.
That's his dark side.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. He was Batman. He was
Yes.
the most forgettable Batman.
You're right. Who was the best Batman?
Michael Keaton was
Yeah,
good.
Michael. The original I thought
I
was great.
liked
Michael
him.
Keaton.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the original's Adam West
Yeah.
from the
Well,
original TV
in
show.
these
Yeah.
latest movies
Right.
franchise.
You thought Michael...
I thought Michael Keaton
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
great.
he was
He was
good.
good.
And I thought the last guy with the Dark Knight movies.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Christian
he's-
Bale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
George
he's just a great
Clooney was a
actor.
forgettable Batman,
Yeah.
and Ben Affleck was a forgettable Batman.
I agree with your
And,
I agree with your Batman assessment.
Val Kilmer was also a Batman. You know.
I would put him in a different tier above Ben and George, but not quite
Not
a Christian
near
and a
Christian,
Michael.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I want you to guess. A little more Ben Affleck here. Ben Affleck was seen smiling in his L.A. rental home yesterday.
Because he's away from her.
The paparazzi was camped out front, and that's what they do. When you got a story like this, the paparazzi, they're just sitting out there. They're sitting out there for hours, 5, 10, 18, whatever hours, waiting to get a shot of Ben coming out of the house, Ben getting in the car. But guess what shot the paparazzi got yesterday at Ben Affleck's rental home with the separation with Lopez, with J-Lo? They got a food delivery.
Oh, yeah.
So Ben Affleck comes outside to grab a bag of food delivery.
Well, for like Bandit Express.
Hang on. I zoomed in on the picture. Guess what food Ben Affleck had delivered? I'm looking at the bag right here. I'm looking at I can hold this thing up to MJTV.
A couple of In-N-Out burgers.
Hang on, there's the bag right there. I'm pointing to it on MJTV. That's the bag. And I zoomed in.
Is that a McDonald's bag?
Nope, it is not a McDonald's bag.
Am I in the right genre?
It's fast food.
Okay.
So Southern California, Los Angeles. I don't think you're going to guess it.
Okay, so I said In-N-Out burger.
Okay, it's not In-N-Out burger.
All right, Los Angeles.
Which is a very good guess.
Del Taco.
Del Taco is another LA taco chain. Good guess, but not it.
Jack in the Box.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I know my regional fast food places.
Yes. I think it's called the Jack Sack.
Oh my God.
Hang on a minute.
What a terrible name.
Yeah, I think I
I'd
can't.
like to put a big old Jack Sack right in my mouth. I can't eat me enough of Jack Sack.
So Ben Affleck is smiling. He's wearing some jeans that are, his butt looks really kind of flat. So he's wearing some baggy jeans and, just a kind of a crumpled T-shirt. And Ben Affleck comes out to meet the DoorDash or the Uber Eats guy who's delivering a bag of Jack in the Box for Ben Affleck.
That's cool.
Oh, I thought that was pretty funny to see that. And then the other thing,
I mean, he looks good. I'm looking at pictures of him walking
see.
out to meet the
Let me see
Uber driver.
His flat butt.
Yeah,
Let's
he
see.
looks pretty good.
the other funny item is that well, I don't know if it's funny, but the other item that has come out here is that he has erratic mood swings. So that must be part of the dark side, right?
Whatever.
Yeah, probably. Maybe it ebbs and flows with how much he wins or loses gambling, right? Didn't he have a gambling problem as well?
Yeah, that's been around. But some of the other stories that have come out that there was a toxicity in the relationship and that Ben Affleck had these dramatic mood swings, and that was part. So are we to believe that the failure of the second time around for J-Lo and Ben Affleck, that it really is more of a Ben problem than a J-Lo problem? Is that?
I think, like Fester said, we're going to hear bad. They're going to be slinging mud from both sides, right? We've heard all kinds of bad things about her. She's hard to deal with. She's been getting worn out a little bit, or not a little bit, a lot on TikTok. And, people are talking a lot of trash about her. So now her team has to come back and say, no, he's the bad apple.
O.J. Simpson's remains are being turned into jewelry.
Oh, like ashes into like stones?
Yeah. Haven't you seen this where you can take the cremains of a relative and have it like pressed into jewelry? And I thought there was some company that was making like an artificial diamond-like substance by taking your loved one's cremains. So listen to this. I saw this on TMZ last night, that O.J. Simpson's ashes, his cremains, are going to be turned into jewelry and given to his kids.
All right, so there's a website called Everdeer that can take Grandpa's ashes and either ashes or hair, and they can cultivate diamonds from
my
them.
God, that's creepy. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, so Malcolm Laverne, who's OJ's longtime attorney, he's now the executor of OJ's estate, told TMZ that OJ's remains have been transformed into cremation jewelry, which was divided up among his 4 adult children. Simpson was cremated back in April following his death, and we're told the kids signed off on having their father's ashes turned into an assortment of jewelry. You know, I was thinking, here's what I was thinking. Roxanne, pay attention.
I'm paying attention.
Do you have charm bracelets?
I don't, not on me.
But what?
Like that?
I'm not saying on you, but do you have a charm bracelet?
My kids do, yeah.
No, but I'm talking about adults.
No, I don't have
What's
one.
that fancy Pandora?
I don't have
like
one.
that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, there are a lot of adult jewelry lines with like silver or gold bracelets, and then you put the little charms on there, and you can have all kinds of little items, little charms. I mean, they're nothing new. Charm bracelets have been around for a long time, but it seems that there are some high-end designer jewelry charm bracelets. And what I was thinking is, how do you not have O.J. Simpson cremains turned into charms? Can you imagine? Like a
little.
Well, hang on.
Come on.
Hang on a minute.
Wait, don't build this joke up. This joke's right in front of you. A little charm knives, little charm gloves,
exactly.
A little charm Bruno Mugli shoe, a little charm white Bronco.
You got them all, man.
A little charm AC Cowling.
Exactly. A little charm Cato.
This actually sounds like they could be little pieces for a Clue game as well.
A little Cato. You have a little Ron Goldman trying to bring the glasses back to Nicole from the restaurant. Yeah. Oh, a little
sunglasses.
Little Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
Little OJ charm bracelet here.
Little pissed.
Wow.
Fred Goldman doll.
I don't want to exploit that situation at all, but how about a board game?
You know what?
Right?
Oh, the OJ Monopoly version?
Yeah, all those pieces that you're naming kind of remind me of like a Clue game,
No,
right?
it's Monopoly. It's like the little
No,
charms. It's like
no,
Monopoly.
It's Clue, because now you have the people.
Follow
and you
a
put
trail?
One, yes.
Okay, the Clue. Okay, all right.
Got Rockingham.
Who's that cop that guy got a bad look on
Mark
the truck?
Furman.
Yeah, Colonel Mustard could be
Mark Furman. Exactly.
I got a terrible question about OJ.
Okay.
Why doesn't Fred Goldman own the ashes?
Well, Fred still has like a $33 million unpaid judgment.
Right.
Yeah, in the civil trial, where the civil trial found that, yes, OJ did murder his daughter.
No, not his
son.
His son, rather.
Yeah.
His son. Thank you.
There.
Ronald Goldman. Yeah, I mean, OJ was acquitted in criminal court, but in civil court, Fred Goldman, the father of Ron Goldman, who went to bring the glasses back to Nicole Brown Simpson after she had left them at that restaurant in Mezzaluna. So now OJ's remains are now pieces of jewelry.
Where is OJ's Heisman right now?
That's a good question.
Is it in Fred Goldman's living room, or
did
he destroy it?
I think that got repossessed. Didn't it get?
I thought Fred got it.
Maybe he
I
did.
thought the Goldmans got it.
Maybe they did.
I don't know.
8:51 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to a close over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. The 9 o'clock hour is set to go. Hey, there's an update. You know the Walmart tainted arsenic apple juice?
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is, but it's an even bigger deal. There's an update. So huge recall on great value apple juice sold at Walmart, but there's a new twist to the story, which I didn't know of yesterday when we talked about the recall. So we got the new twist to the arsenic apple juice. We'll get to that coming up. Oh, did you hear about the this is funny. You heard about the bat dog that they have now for the Clearwater Threshers, the baseball team?
Dude, I don't catch a lot of minor league baseball, but that video is great.
All right, this is phenomenal. So obviously in Clearwater we have the Threshers, the
Phillies franchise.
Minor league, is that the single A or is
Single A.
Yeah, single A. So we've got the Clearwater Threshers, and there's a very funny element regarding their new mascot. They've got a bat dog, and allegedly, you got bat boys.
Yeah.
The foul ball retrievers on the sidelines. They have a dog that's supposed to retrieve, and well, some funny stuff has happened. All right, we'll fill you in that and a whole lot more next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. My friends at It is 9:02. It's the MJ Morning Show. MJ and the crew, and Max, our engineer, just walked in. Max, I know we've just had a shitload of technical problems. Did we get struck by lightning again yesterday?
Schnittload does not define what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, Max, our engineer in the studio. All right, so our digital clock, which I rely on, that is dead. Our phone system is distorted and mangled beyond description. If I take a call, we just had to do the contest for the cash with just a distorted caller. Because I had to do the contest. So my phone system. So
he knows all this. You're not telling him anything he doesn't know.
So Max, I had a very heavy phone day planned. I had I had 4 or 5 phone segments where I wanted to go to phones. I couldn't do it. So my whole cadence today was kind of just destroyed. What's the prognosis on the phone system? Because we're a very phone-heavy morning show.
We're still looking into it and assessing the damage. Don't have prognosis right now, but we probably will have it up and running by tomorrow.
All right. Do we have a backup phone system?
No.
So wait a minute. If it's fried, how can we just take one out of 1010? They don't need it.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
Who calls
I mean,
that station?
Just take the phone system out of 10. Do they have the same phone system down there?
They do.
All right, just rip that sucker out of there. They don't need it.
What about the
Put the distorted one in there. No one will know the difference.
I mean, does the Shark really take requests? I mean, can we use that one?
No, they have contests as well.
All right, but
Good point.
you think my phones will be back up and running for tomorrow?
We will make a valiant effort to make that happen.
All right, I'm the most phone-heavy show in the building.
I know. That's why the valiance is going to be prominent.
All right, so what happened yesterday?
Prominent. I like that.
Because a bunch of our stations were knocked off the air again yesterday. What happened?
We took a massive lightning strike again. Yeah.
This is the tower in the back?
This is the tower in the back.
Which I understand is not grounded properly?
It's grounded, but there's some better things we can do.
Can we call ground or us and have them come out? And could we? How quickly can we ground the tower? So this is the second time we've been struck by lightning in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Whoever said lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice.
Right.
They're
I
an
was thinking
idiot.
that this
Yeah.
morning. I was like, well, that ruins my theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, and Ron, our general manager, he's in freaking Croatia.
Is that where he is?
Seriously, Ron, our vice president and general manager, is in Croatia. What the hell's he doing in Croatia?
Oh.
Even from Croatia, though, he's been in contact.
All right,
and
yeah,
doing his
he
thing.
can still do. Yeah. He can still do a lot of the decision making from Croatia. Do we know why the hell he's in Croatia?
He has family there.
He has
right?
family in Croatia?
Mm-hmm, I think so.
All right.
Yes,
I think so.
The Castros of Croatia.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
He's in the Castro Castle in Croatia. All right. So, what about my clock? Is that fried and destroyed as well?
I don't know. That's new.
That's.
Are they unrelated?
They're related.
Yeah.
Okay,
everything. Yeah. So we were knocked off the air again late yesterday afternoon. Wow. All right. I feel bad for you guys.
Yep. Lots of recovery.
All right.
We're on it.
All right. Thank you, Max.
Thanks, Max.
If you could try to get my phones back up and running for tomorrow.
Or not. Either way.
Yeah. Please.
Thank you, Max. I love this guy. He's great.
Yeah, he's great.
Max,
Max
thank
is
you.
awesome.
You got it, pal.
Engineering talk with Max, the engineer, here on the MJ Morning Show. Folks, listen, I don't want to saddle you and burden you with our problems, but, the listeners, they just want to turn on the radio and just, hear what they expect to hear. And I couldn't really take phones today and the phones have been ringing all morning long with people wanting to contribute, but it's distorted. The phone system is wrecked. All right, this is pretty funny. The Clearwater Threshers. And I've never been to a Threshers game. Have you, Fester?
No.
Andrew, our producer, you been to a Threshers game in Clearwater?
I have not.
This is
minor league baseball. They play.
Why aren't they called the Yankees or the Phillies?
Because
Rather?
So here's what happened.
Because they're what?
You said why aren't they called the Yankees?
No,
and I was gonna say because that's their opposing
I was thinking
opposition.
I was thinking about the Yankees.
They used to be the Clearwater Phillies.
Hang on a minute. I was thinking about the Yankees in Tampa because we have the New York Yankees Major League, and then we've got the minor league Yankees here.
Correct.
Glad you said that.
why aren't the Phillies? What?
Stop talking.
What?
You don't know anything about this.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
It used to be the Tampa Yankees.
Yes.
It used to be the Clearwater Phillies.
Right.
Minor league teams have rebranded themselves with different names than their franchise. Very few teams are now named after their. For example, it's the Tampa Tarpons. The Tampa Tarpons play at Steinbrenner Field.
Oh, they're not the Yankees anymore?
And they haven't been for like 10 years.
When the hell did that happen?
Like when Obama was in office.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a while.
All right, well,
so the Tampa Tarpons are now
learning something new every day.
the single A affiliate.
I've always called them the Tampa Yankees.
And everybody knows what you mean.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
know what you mean. But
All
it's
right.
confusing, too, because Tarpon is in Pinellas County, not in Hillsborough.
Well, it's Tarpon Springs, it's
Yes.
town. But the Tampa Tarpons, the fish.
Yeah, but it's a fish. It's a
Yeah.
big elongated fish.
Yeah, so it's
Tarpon.
named after the
Yeah.
fish. So Clearwater Phillies changed their name to the Clearwater Threshers, which
Okay.
is a shark.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very aquatic in this
I'm
town.
very aware of a thresher shark because I'm a scuba diver.
Oh, I haven't heard.
So here,
I didn't know that. Really, you're a scuba diver. You any good
here's
at
the-
it?
here's
You
the
ever
deal.
go anywhere?
Here's the deal.
All right. The Clearwater Threshers minor league baseball team. Beautiful stadium, by the way.
The Clearwater Threshers, they have a bat dog, and
That's pretty cool.
they have a 10-month-old Labrador Retriever, and the key word here is retriever, that the dog was trained to retrieve. And just like you have like a bat boy or a bat girl on the side to, go after foul balls and maybe grab a bat that gets tossed. Well, the Clearwater Threshers trained a 10-month-old Labrador Retriever named Lucy.
Does Lucy have some explaining to do?
Look at this dog. Dog's all over the place.
The prior dog was Layla, but Layla was, I guess, retired. So Lucy is the new dog. It turns out that Lucy's greatest achievement so far is relieving herself in front of the pack stands. So Lucy, right in front of second base, where the second baseman would play, not second base itself, but there's video of Lucy dropping a number 2 with 2 different stops.
Yeah.
Stop. So the grounds crew not only has to worry about, fixing up the dirt and the baselines, now the grounds crew has to pick up Lucy's number 2 turds. So there's video of Lucy right in front.
Then the handler finally gets a hold of her.
On the grass, right in front of where the second baseman would play.
What a good dog.
Lucy stops and pops a squat.
Lucy with a loose caboose.
And drops pile number 1 and then moves about 3 feet away and then up still more. And then Lucy also I whizzed on the pitcher's mound. So,
I love everything about this video.
Lucy, the Thresher's bat dog is relieving herself all over the place.
Listen, it just needs a little more training. This dog will be great.
Wait, it's not a Labrador Retriever. It's a Labrador reliever.
That's good.
The video is circulating. It's on YouTube. And I guess this was the debut of the dog.
Brand new dog.
Yeah.
The
this is
dog
the- yep.
dog underwent extensive training, and it popped the squat 3 different times on the field right in front of the pack stands.
Tell you what, Clearwater Threshers want to do something. Just let like 10 Labradors just run over the field during in between innings. Stands will be packed.
We have an update on the Walmart apple juice recall, and this is pretty significant. I didn't realize this, and I just found this out last night when I was reading just some follow-up articles. Do you know what the update is? So Walmart has recalled like 9,000 cases of great value apple juice. And
Is that a lot for Walmart?
Listen, 9,000 cases is a lot of, I would say it's a lot.
It's like 5 cases a store. I mean, it's not that much.
Listen, still, 9,000 cases is a significant amount of cases of apple juice.
All right.
But here's the update. The reason why it was recalled, we already knew this, was because of high levels of arsenic. And the FDA has issued a Class 2 recall, meaning, so a Class 2 recall means that it could cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences. So it's not like you're going to have, permanent
What does that mean? It gives you a headache?
Well, yeah, or levels of arsenic too high, but I guess you can get rid of it.
Makes
Anyway,
you feel queasy for a little while? I mean, what does
the
that
bottom
mean?
line is you don't want your kids drinking apple juice with high levels of arsenic.
Yeah, childhood exposure to arsenic can increase the risk of developing bladder and lung cancer later in life.
Ugh. Well, here's the update. Here's what's significantly new is, and we mentioned this yesterday, that the apple juice was made by Refresco Beverages U.S. Incorporated. They're based in Tampa. I had no idea. Refresco, the company that made the apple juice under the Great Value brand.
I knew it was made in Florida.
Yeah.
Early stories, I said
it
was manufactured in Florida.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was here in Tampa.
Based in Tampa. I had no idea. Go Google Maps them. Where is Refresco located? So make sure you don't have this product. The UPC is 0787-42-29655-5. The best if used by date is December 28th of this year. And these are 8-ounce Great Value Walmart branded apple juice containers.
I know you mentioned it yesterday,
Yeah.
but can we talk about it again? How does it get into the apple juice? How does the arsenic get into it? Why the high levels of it?
Well, in this particular case, the speculation is pesticides, that somehow the apples used in the pressing of this particular apple juice, that there was unwashed pesticide. That's just one of the guesses that's floating around, that's how the arsenic got into the apple juice and it tested high.
Did we talk about this on the show? I read this somewhere the other day that you shouldn't even eat fruit or vegetables with skin. No matter how much you wash, the pesticides aren't coming off, which stinks because this was a story that I read.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not saying,
I'm not doubting that. No, I saw the same story, and this has been around forever. How to properly wash fruits and vegetables. Yeah, there's like a vegetable like soap scrub that they sell out there. Have you seen that?
That probably has chemicals in it.
Yeah.
I mean, geez. If it can fight off the pesticides, what's in that?
Yeah, we got to add chemicals to get rid of the chemicals.
Yeah.
But the skin on a lot of things is
nutritious.
Is very nutritious. For instance, on grapes, the best part of the grape, the most healthy, I think that's what has, is it the flavonoids or the resveratrol?
Resveratrol,
you know, especially in red grapes. Yeah, you want the skin. So the skins are, and in many cases, the skins produce, good fiber for you as well. All right. Where is this Refresco located?
Kind of like the Claremelle area off of
Causeway?
Off of the Leroy Selman. I think I found the story where they purchased an older Coca-Cola facility.
Gotcha. But also, apple seeds themselves
have arsenic in them.
Yeah. So apple seeds, I mean, a lot of natural foods have trace amounts of arsenic. Like, for instance, don't peach pits have a certain level of cyanide inside?
I never heard that.
Yeah, hold on. Google that. I don't want to be spouting out all kinds of erroneous information on this 100,000 watt radio station. But I think that there is some.
It can produce cyanide in the gut. They contain amygdalin.
Okay.
Some fresh fruits, including cherries, plums, peaches, nectarines, and apricots, have pits that contain cyanide compounds, which are poisonous. Yeah. So I remember when I was a kid.
Who the hell eats the pits? Besides horses.
Hey, it's funny you asked that question. I remember when I was a kid, mid-1970s, there was an episode of the TV show Emergency. Remember that? Remember when their fire alarm went off in the house and made all those interesting noises? So the old TV show Emergency, I remember there was one episode where the kid was like hospitalized. He became unconscious, like with some mystery ailment. And they discovered that he had eaten the peach pits and he had cyanide poisoning from the peach pits.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hey, listen, in Beverly Hills 90210, do you know how many people died inside the peach pit?
I think a couple got pregnant.
That was the restaurant. Remember? That was the hangout little restaurant,
I
the
remember
peach
that.
pit. That's a joke. Anyway, so Refresco, a Tampa company, part of this huge recall. with the apple juice. Hey, I've got an MJ Morning Show public service announcement for you, ladies and gentlemen. It is not necessary to show your breasts to the Border Patrol officer when coming into the United States from Canada. I bet you didn't know this. Roxanne,
Says who?
Did you know this?
Says who?
So you do not have to show your breasts to the border guard, all right?
Thank goodness.
Yeah. We got a border guard up in New York in trouble. Yep, a U.S. Border Patrol agent up in New York arrested for ordering women to show him their breasts and claiming that it was part of his official duties. What? You're at the border? You're rolling in at the Niagara border, or you're rolling in up in Plattsburgh, or you're coming in from Canada, over one of the Canadian-U.S. borders. Yes, one of the border entry requirements, ma'am, you got to show me your breasts.
Right, flash them.
No, you don't. Border agent Shane Milan, 53, was arrested on charges that he deprived 4 women of their constitutional right to be free from unreasonable searches.
In which country?
What amendment would that be, Fester?
Well, the
Unreasonable search and seizure, Fester.
The Third Amendment.
No.
The Fifth Amendment.
No.
The Sixth Amendment.
No. Come on. Unreasonable search and seizure.
It's not the Second Amendment.
Fourth Amendment.
The First Amendment.
Fourth Amendment.
You're so close. You're dancing around it.
44th Amendment.
It's the Fourth Amendment.
Dancing around.
Unreasonable search and seizure. Fourth Amendment, right, Roxanne? Are you looking it up?
I'm not looking it up, but it sounds good. I think it is the Fourth Amendment.
Roxanne has memorized the Constitution.
Yes,
She
I
knew.
know all the amendments.
Man, what kind of scheme did this guy have going on? According to prosecutors, Milan told 3 women to expose their bare chests to him over a web camera while processing their applications to enter the country. A 4th woman was ordered to show him her breasts with her bra on. The alleged incidents took place in August of last year. Milan told the women that exposing their breasts was part of the process of being admitted into the United States. What the hell? And I'm trying to figure out.
Sorry, President Biden's really cracking down on this immigration stuff.
What the? And I'm trying to determine. 3 women exposed their breasts over a web camera. So, are there border crossings where you are on a webcam and interacting, or I don't think it was necessarily live where you're in the car, you pull up and hey, you're coming in from Canada, you got to lift up your shirt and show me your tatas in order to get into the United States. So I don't know whether it was an actual physical, or what border crossing or what entry would be done via a webcam.
Yeah, I've probably gone into Canada 15 times, and it's always been
I've driven
the toll booth.
Yeah, and usually there's both ways.
There's an attendant
going,
or attendant, a guard,
or maybe it's maybe it's one of the walking entries.
Where can you just walk into Canada?
No. So at the various points of entry, you can either take a motor. On many of the ports of entry, you can use a motor vehicle to cross the border, or there are places where you can just walk in. For instance, I was in Texas. I was in El Paso, and I walked. I went to, when I was doing my afternoon show.
You walked into Mexico.
Yeah, years ago.
You're the only one going that direction.
Listen to me.
You're like the other way. Turn around.
Listen to me.
Right, what?
So I was visiting my El Paso, Texas affiliate for my old afternoon show, and they said, "Hey, you want to go to Mexico and grab some tequila? Let's go to the famous." What's the famous bar? The Kentucky. There's a famous. What's the famous bar? And so I crossed the border with a bunch of folks from the radio station. We parked and we just literally walked right across from El Paso into Ciudad Juarez. That's where the Sinaloa drug cartel, they got some operations in there. So we walked right down the main
famous Kentucky Bar and Grill?
I said Kentucky. Yeah. So in Ciudad Juarez, there's the famous Kentucky Bar and Grill. And we walked. I was right there. Fester just brought up a picture on Google. I was literally sat right at that bar. And you know what? Interestingly, this bar has? This has a urinal trough right under the bar, so you could stay. In the old days, you could stand at the bar and go to the bathroom.
It's not still functional?
It is not still functional.
Oh, man, that's some Mexican ingenuity right there.
Wow.
But I walked right across, and I don't even think I had my passport with me. I think my driver's license was good enough. We just walked into Mexico.
It must have been early 2000s.
Had a drink, and then I don't think I had my passport with me. And I was able to. We walked all. It's like the Freedom Bridge or whatever they call it. We walked into Mexico, and then you spent about an hour over there, and then walked on back. Great experience. Anyway, so ladies, you do not have to show your breasts for entry into the United States. First of all, who are the women that would fall for this? I don't want to do this. They were traumatized with this, but I mean, it doesn't seem like you're the brightest bulbs if you agree.
It doesn't, but some people when they deal
Under
with
duress.
people in positions of authority, and under duress.
All right, Roxanne, if you're dealing with entry into the United States from Canada,
No,
for
I'm
instance,
not going to show my breasts.
all right, you're not going to say you're not going to fall for part of the entry process is lift your shirt and show me your
No.
show me the girls.
No, I was pulled over one time and I had a bad feeling about the guy, and I was like, he didn't even ask me to show my breasts. Something didn't seem right. And I was like, can you please call another police officer and bring them to this incident because I don't feel comfortable around you.
Wow, where was this?
This was in Oldsmar somewhere. This was years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oldsmar PD, very sus.
You know what it was? He
What?
had really long fingernails, and I didn't think that was appropriate for law enforcement.
What if he was like a drug and
Hold on.
undercover half the time?
Was it a marked car or an unmarked car?
I believe it was a marked car.
All right, so was it a real police officer?
I think it ended up being a police officer, but he let me go. He didn't even call the other. He didn't call
Really?
for backup. He just let me
Wow.
go. Because the thing is he pulled me over for no reason.
That's how we do things at the Oldsmar Police Department.
There is no Oldsmar Police Department.
Oldsmar Police Department. We rule this stretch of road with an iron fist. How dare you go down 580 that speed, young lady.
9:24 at the MJ Morning Show. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show on a.
I got myself an Eastlake girl here.
Yep.
Welcome to Oldsmar.
Can I go to break, please?
No, I'm going to talk like the Oldsmar sheriff or police captain of the Oldsmar Police.
9:24 at the MJ Morning Show. Final chunk of the program is next. If you need a. It is 9:33 at the MJ Morning Show on a Tuesday morning. The final chunk of the show has arrived. I thought this was just funny. Are you aware of people that make these miniature scenery displays? I want to call it a diorama.
Yeah, I love dioramas.
Yeah, I want to, but have you seen the people that can do remarkable miniature work and like build like a city or build a house with all like the little bitty furniture or little? Are you aware like the art that goes into creating miniatures?
I'm not terribly well versed on it. However, I am familiar with the art.
A winning miniature set that was entered in some kind of miniature contest.
I think it was like a state fair.
In the Kentucky State Fair. Won second place, but has lost its ribbon after it was determined that the miniature was a porno set.
I recognized it instantly.
Come on, dude, it looks like an office. How do you recognize that as a porno set?
I read about this. Is this the casting couch?
The casting couch.
Yes.
I read this.
This is a whole genre of a white office with a black casting couch.
I'm sorry if I'm not familiar with casting couch porno videos. How much time do you spend on what is the one? Pornhub. How
Too many trackers on Pornhub.
Oh.
Listen, I'm familiar.
What does that mean?
I'm familiar with what's out there. Listen,
all right, listen to this.
This is the scene of every casting couch video.
A winning miniature set in the Kentucky State Fair entitled "The Casting Couch" was removed from display for being inappropriate after officials realized that it was actually a depiction of an infamous adult movie set. And it just says like bland gray industrial carpet, a brownish leather couch, a desk, and a chair. It's like a very barren room.
I need to see photos.
If you look, though, on the desk, it has a little camera.
Right.
And the camera's pointed toward the couch.
Oh, and then
the couch image is on the screen next to it.
On the computer monitor on the cheap desk.
Okay, this is great.
Oh, man.
Who figured out that's what that was?
A dozen people looked at this and thought this was such an amazing piece of a generic office. And then one guy looks at it and says, that's the scene of a porno.
And then he said, why did I say that out loud?
Yes. Just
who the hell knew in the Kentucky State Fair? At state fairs, you've got like the 4-H club, and the kids have like the biggest pig. And, you have various contests at various state fairs, but I had no idea Kentucky has a miniature, and it looks like if you look at the. By the way, I made a mistake. They got third place. I said second place. They got third place. And third place was stripped away. But if you look in the picture of the porno set inside this box, like a diorama, if you look to the left of the porno set, it looks like somebody built is that a park? It looks like a parking lot. It looks like I can only see the corner. It looks like a building and the parking lot with a little car in it.
Go back to this third place winner. Right. Look at the center cushion. You can see like a butt mark.
Oh, man.
On the center cushion of the couch. This is really talented.
So Preston Poling made the set, got third place, minimal construction, white walls, a door, a window with blinds, gray carpet, a black leather couch, a battered office chair, and a computer monitor connected to a camera. Closer examination shows the computer screen has a replica of the couch on the screen and has a red circle in the upper right-hand corner indicative of a record button. You know, the little record light, like on a video camera. You look at a little red light. Ha!
And he gets it in, it gets submitted, it wins a prize, and then it sat there for like a week.
And then someone said, hey, Vern, that's a porno set. That's a casting couch from one of those porno movies.
I've seen that one before.
Where, the 18-year-old comes into town, gets off the bus from Pocatello, and gets into the porn business. Yeah. So Poling did an interview with the New York Post and said the whole thing was an inside joke. I wanted to enter it into the fair to see if people would catch on to the concept. Either you got the joke or you didn't. Poling, 42 years old, said he deliberately avoided putting his magnetic title placard on the set when he entered it. Instead, he waited to see if people would connect the dots. The design was awarded third place in the I Did It My Way category, a more open-ended entry option. But who the hell knew that the Kentucky State Fair had a contest for people to make little miniatures?
How many submissions did they get?
Oh, man, I don't know. That's a good question.
That's something.
He said the stain on the couch is a sweat stain.
Yeah, from the butt.
Yeah, or maybe it could be some other, who knows?
Ick.
Oh, yes, Roxanne, that is an ick. Absolutely. All right, you've been waiting all show for this, folks. I have the 10 best litter boxes of 2024. The best overall litter box is the Frisco multifunction covered cat litter box.
Okay.
And I'm kidding. This is a joke. Seriously, I found an item last night, an actual story online. The 10 best litter boxes of 22. I'm kidding around. I'm not doing
You're
that.
not in the cat world. I mean, people are into
means
cats.
a lot to cat lovers.
I'm kidding. I'm joking around. I'm not going through a list of the best litter boxes of 2024. Yeah. Hey, Andrew, do you have the laundry detergent lady? Is that audio still up on the board? This woman says that laundry companies take advantage of the fact that customers do not know how to do laundry.
Okay, I've heard that for a while.
Roxanne, when I say that, and I'm not looking at you that, I think that you're an expert in the domestic field, but
I'm not.
But with laundry, do you think you know how to do laundry?
I mean, sometimes there are people who do laundry so poorly that the other person just does it for them. I tried that early on with Doug, but it didn't work. But I do know how to do laundry. I have read stories that you're probably alluding to where we use too much detergent, and that really, if you wash your clothes on a warm temperature, you can use less detergent. You don't need to you can just do quick wash even.
You know what also I think is sort of indicative of this is like the shampoo instructions, like
yes,
rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
What? So you use twice as much shampoo in the shower? Why do you need to rinse and repeat? Why can't you just
scrub really hard?
Get a quarter-sized amount of shampoo in your hand. You put it in your hair. The stuff lathers all up with the lauryl sulfate or whatever the hell that crap is, the lathering agent. Your hair is clearly covered, and the shampoo, the soap is in your hair. So you rinse it, but then the shampoo company is telling me to do it again because they want you to use twice as much shampoo. And in fact, if you talk to like dermatologists or you talk to hair experts, they don't even recommend you washing your hair every day. They say that most people should not wash their hair every. What have you heard on that, Rox?
I have heard that you're supposed to wash your hair once a week. And I can't do once a week, especially in this hot, humid climate that we live in, much to Fester's disappointment. I can't do once a week. I have to wash it twice a week.
Oh.
I remember my grandmothers, Minky and Franny, may they rest in peace, they both, and this is back when I was a little kid. I mean, this is back in the 70s. I remember they both would go to like the hair salons, and their hair was like a fiberglass shell of a boat.
Yeah.
So they would get that plaster do, and seriously, you could knock on it. I mean, it would make that noise. It was like petrified cotton candy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I mean, it was like a hard plastic shell.
My Nana had the curls. She had curls, but it was hard as could be.
And I remember they used to get their hair done like once every, I think, 3 weeks. They wouldn't touch their hair for 3 weeks at a time. It was shellacked. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so back to the laundry detergent.
So I looked up most common laundry mistakes. First thing is using too much detergent.
Yep. All right, so listen to this woman, and I just thought this was interesting, that the laundry detergent companies are counting on you not knowing what the living bleep you're doing. And you're buying way too much detergent, and they're happy to sell you as much as you want to buy.
If you see on laundry detergent bottles or fabric softener bottles, like right here, it says 105 loads in this bottle. Here's what they're talking about, because they're not lying to you, but they are taking advantage of the fact that you make assumptions. So for example, it means small loads. So here's the cap. The small load thing is about like right under here. So I'm going to fill it up to that line. There we go. So what that looks like in a measuring cup, this is a quarter cup. It's not full. So when you're filling up the caps for laundry detergent, fabric softener, all of that, you are using at least double what you need to be.
At least double. And the laundry detergent companies, are they trying to educate people that you're using way too much of the product and you can make that bottle last twice as long or longer? Hey, you go to Walmart or Target and you pick up like one of the large bottles of, let's say, Tide or All. Those things are $22. I mean, that's expensive. We bitch about $3.50 a gallon for gasoline. You're essentially playing. If you a gallon of this laundry detergent, it's like $40 a gallon. I mean,
that's right.
It's insane. Anyway, and then listen to this. Listen to what this woman has to say. This is laundry expert Taryn. This woman's name is Taryn. All right, listen to this, Roxanne. This is going to get your attention. Check this out. Listen.
For fabric softeners specifically, that makes...
All right, fabric softeners. So now she's talking about fabric softeners.
For fabric softeners specifically, that makes things more flammable. There are so many cases where fabric softener has actually not caused fires, but when there's a fire, and for example, for kids' sleepwear, specifically, those have a coating to make them less flammable. When you use too much fabric softener, or just fabric softener in general, it dilutes that thing and it makes it more flammable.
Did you know that?
That's scary.
Yes.
I've never heard that.
Putting fear.
Are you calling her a liar?
Maybe.
Putting fear in laundry doers everywhere.
Listen, the stuff that you hear on the MJ Morning Show, that's why you never know what you're going to hear. But if you walk away with one thing, what was that Baz Luhrmann thing? Remember, if I have one piece of advice for you, wear sunscreen. All right, on today's MJ Morning Show, if we have one piece of advice for you, you're using way too much laundry detergent.
And fabric softener, Fester, it is true. It's on Google, so it must be true.
Oh, well, there you go. It's on
Overuse may
Google.
make clothes more flammable.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that makes you comfortable with a kid's sleepover, doesn't it?
Jeez.
Yeah, and they're doing s'mores in the backyard at the campfire. Next thing you know, it's a 3-alarmer. We got to roll. All right, folks, hopefully all of our technical issues will be fixed for tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to take phone calls and our phone system will be back up and running. I mean, every day is something new here. But we'll work through it. We'll work through these very difficult and trying times.
Yeah.
You know, adversity breeds strength, folks.
Is that what it does?
Yeah.
And, you know, in the final days of my radio career, I want to be just a strong broadcaster. You know?
Oh, I feel you.
Oh, man, the challenges, folks. Do you remember I tried to do a GoFundMe to raise money to fix the studio when we first got here and the ownership of the company freaked out?
Yeah, it didn't go very well.
It didn't go
Ooh, that's looking like a much better plan now, isn't it?
Seriously, we were like a month or two into the MJ Morning Show return here on Q105 in October of 2020. And the studio was such a wreck that I started a GoFundMe on the air, and corporate freaked out. They shut us down, and how dare you do that? I'm like, here I am 4 years later, and that was the best freaking idea I ever had, was a GoFundMe to fix this place up.
Think if we'd invested that money in the stock market 4 years ago, wow, we'd have a brand new, nice studio.
Yeah. We got to roll, folks. 9:48 at the MJ Morning Show. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Hopefully everything will work. Hopefully I can go back to phones, because we're a phone-heavy show, so I guess we'll see what tomorrow brings. Have a great one, folks, and do me a favor. Let's be careful out there.